Well, hello. Greetings, adventurers. Wow, and welcome back to another episode of The Role Players. Oh, we have missed you all so much, and we are so excited to play the world's best role-playing game ever created, Dungeons and Dragons! Or as we say, motherfucking D&D. Welcome. I'm Judd, your Dungeon Master. These are my role players. Now, something weird here. I see two players, but I see this mystical spinning energy portals here for some names that I just don't recognize. What could that be? Well, stay tuned, and hopefully we'll all find out tonight. We're really excited to be back here, and we have some new stuff to show you all, as I'm sure you just saw. We're really pumped about that. A big thank you to our producer, Ashley Roper, who has not slept the entire last 2 weeks as we prepped this. So without further ado, Peter, you do a couple quick announcements for us before we take it in tonight.
I would be honored to bring the announcements back. First of all, look at that overlay. Look at these swirls. Who are our new brothers and sisters? I mean, who are these new people? We will know soon. Sponsorship, yes. Skull Splitter, Dice, and more. Go over to Skull Splitter, Dice, pick yourself up some, I mean, it's D&D season. I mean, let's just bring this on. TRPSS 15 gets you the discount. TRP, the role players, SS, Skull Splitter, 15 gets you the discount. Thank you, Skull Splitter Dice. And now, Thrill Studios. Now, Thrill Studios, what's it about? They collect miniatures, they print miniatures, and they collect miniatures from all these Kickstarters, so you don't have to buy the $70, $80 game just to get that miniature you like. You can go to Thrill Studios, and they sell them individually, and they will paint them for you if you like. But if you'd like to paint them, well, hey, we all love painting, right? So that one is TRP 15. Boom. TRP 15, that'll give you the discount. Go buy some minis, get some dice, and let's roll with our dear beloved friends. It's on tonight, and I am so stoked and excited to be back. Boom.
Yes. In fact, I would like to add another announcement. You might see a new logo there on our overlay here. Extra Life. So we are officially partnering with Extra Life. Charity is going to be a big part of what we do from this point on. And it's for sick kids. I mean, is there any better charity than sick kids? So we'll give full details about that in the coming week. So look out for that. And we're going to do all sorts of fundraisers and promotions and give a percentage of everything that this show brings in to Extra Life. So we're super stoked about that. And if you were here for our holiday one-shot, we raised almost $900 in that one night, very last-minute one-shot for Extra Life. And that kind of kicked things off. So we're super stoked about that. So I think that might be it. We might need to bring everybody in with a little intro, something that kind of sets the stage, as you will.
Oh boy.
Well, let's well, look at that. Thank you, Jamie. That one's going right to the kids. All right, everyone, and stay tuned, and we'll be right back for tonight's episode of The Role Players.
Gives you a sensation to explore. Mystical creatures roam this world. Stay close to each other. Teamwork is your mother. Be safe and find your way.
And
so yes, so we're not messing around anymore. So another big thank you. Yeah, it's dusty in here.
Little onions in this place.
Super excited, y'all, to play tonight. So let's bring it in and let's talk about what happened last time in Anacroli. I'm going to start our little background music and make sure that you all can hear it, especially my players. And okay, hopefully you can hear that now. Can you guys hear that? No? Okay. Stand by. How about now? It's been a while.
Nope.
Nope? Okay, we'll figure that out in a moment. So, last time, our party venturing down in the deep swamplands of Anacroli were after one of the necromancer's sites that were purported to be down here. However, you decided to skip heading straight to that site and instead decided to investigate basically a treasure map that you found up in Asley that supposedly led to some special weapon that was hidden for centuries. Upon finding the location, you found an entrance, and all 5 of you had slid down this really old, disgusting hole and into this rock, down and slid down deep into the earth underneath the swamps, where you found an entrance of some kind. It looked like a temple of some kind. Finally, figuring out how to pass through a barrier there, you came upon the temple of Valka, a long past goddess of war and truth. And it was quickly revealed to you that she was going to judge you all. And as you explored a bit of this temple, which seemed to sit far above Anacroli, probably outside of the material plane that you were in, as you were in this massive temple, hundreds and hundreds of feet high, this huge statue of this goddess. Looking out, you saw stars in space, and you saw a blue misty cloud covering a planet below you. As you went down these long set of steps, you appeared on a platform, and an angelic figure appeared, and battle commenced. And was a interesting battle. Wasn't as fierce as you expected. Were you fighting a goddess? Were you fighting a champion? An avatar? You weren't sure. But you did fell this angel, and as soon as you did, it vanished and reappeared floating above you, and looking at all of you, said, "My judgment has been passed." Seville, Erisette. Actually, before I move on, I want you to hear this music. So let me figure out how you hear this music. I think I just have it on the moment, but. I'll just keep trying. You got it? Oh, excellent. Okay. Seville and Erisette, you stand there looking at Otto, Dagmara, Tabitha, Snack, and this floating angel, and everything, as if the world were snuffed out, goes to black. A moment later, you materialize, this bright light blinding you. Your eyes, your hands fly up, shielding you. Your eyes dilate. It's painful. And as the light recedes, you see that you're floating far above a world, a perspective you could never even imagine. And as you take that in, you look in front of you and you see a being bigger than existence itself. A woman. Her face fills the vast majority of space in front of you. And she is strong and proud, and she looks at you both. You have been judged, and for no small task. You've set about to combat something that has affected even us gods. Therefore, this is no trifling matter. And I will do all I can, as will the other gods watching from afar, to aid you in this quest. I have seen into your hearts, each of you. The battle was not the test, though it is a good way to know whether someone's heart is pure, whether they are dedicated to a path, or whether they have alternate pursuits in mind. Seville, I feel your anxiousness to speak. The questions circling around in your head, some would be answered, most will not. Ariset, you have been trained by your people in the existence of other planes. While you have a certain aptitude, and your people certainly specialize in it, there's another who has taken interest in you far before your birth. I see you wear her favor around your neck. That is why you have visions. That is why you have seen what is coming. And why you feel so compelled to do something about it. The choice, do not be mistaken, the choice is yours. But you have been given the truth, and the truth is extremely powerful, as I think you know. That gift of the god is no small thing, so I hope you will bear that in mind as you move forward, Ariset. You walk on a knife edge of existence, and you very nearly tottered off of it.
I'll go over and hold Ariset's hand.
Indeed. You have friends and allies, and the one of which I speak continues to watch over you. In fact, Seville, the one to which you continue to reach out to, she allowed the passage of Ariset's goddess, however tenuous, into this realm. And you were tested once again, Ariset, and proved worthy. Now, we don't have much time. I can't maintain this connection for long. What happened to Anacroli is not usual. It is not a usual teleportation of land, which has been done before. The elves and various people have discovered how to do such a thing. But what happened to Anacroli was that it was taken specifically into a demiplane to which the gods have no access. As you can understand, this more than anything else worries us. For anything that could come to this fruition without our sight is quite disturbing. Therefore, we're doing all we can, finding the bit of leaks in this realm, for it does, like a sieve, cannot hold completely, and we have found various ways in. This one, I credit you, you found on your own. You found an ancient temple of mine, which the magic goes beyond planar energies, and has brought you to me. However, you are not here, you are still in Anacroli. I merely can commune with your souls. There's much to tell you with little time. I will accept a few questions from you both.
I've got so many. The first one, the most pressing one, is who do we stop? The Archmage Drevin or these necromancers? They seem entwined but yet opposed at the same time. Do we go after the 5 sites or find this Drevin?
The last part of your first question I cannot answer, for whoever completed the departing of an acolyte did so without our knowledge. However, the mage of which you speak, the wizard, hidden in a volcano, well, rather near it, as best we can judge, indeed has something to do with all of this. The necromancers are but a tool, but a powerful and deadly one. And should they get their way and open a portal to Fornuge, he will grow more powerful and be able to block us permanently. And I do mean permanently, which is no small thing for a god to say. The stakes could not be higher.
Oh, we have to get both? Is that it? We must find both.
I certainly believe so, yes.
Knew it! Okay.
Where are the others? Where is Otto?
They are
Tabitha
gone.
and Dagmara?
They have been sent elsewhere. We have some power, as I said, threading through the world. I've sent Tabitha back home. She has other pressing matters to deal with. Otto's soul is not mine to command. I have returned his soul to his owner. And Dagmara is a complicated creature. The dragon half of her soul is much more powerful than ever she knew. But they were not capable of continuing this quest, and they have been freed from it. I cannot tell you whom you should find. You cannot do this alone. The two of you, quite capable. You will need others. However, Seville, Chatterelle has her own threads in the world, and I believe, as we speak, has been maneuvering potential allies to your area. But specifics I cannot tell you.
A question,
Yes.
if you'll allow. My sister, Jaihana, you put that image in my head. Was it a test? Was it a portent? Why did you trouble me with that? Is she alive? Has she healed? Is there any way to get to her?
Seville, truth will set you free. That is all I can say on that matter. Now, as I said, we are almost out of time. I can tell you this. There are realms upon realms, universes upon universes. There is a structure to everything, even to us gods, which I know always seems to startle mortals to hear there's a hierarchy to the gods themselves, but there is. We have our own rules to follow. Existence is much larger than your minds can perceive at this point. However, as I said, the good and the bad are all rallying their forces now. This is an important moment in all of time. You must not fail.
I won't. And neither will Wild Sauce.
Arisette, I hope you find more voice going forward. Find the leadership that you have been trained for and that you are ready for.
I doubted myself. I'm sorry. Thank you for showing yourself to me. It means so much. I allowed my doubt to creep in, and I paid the price. I will never make the mistake again, and I take my knife and I cut my arm. I swear it. By the blood of my ancestors, the blood of the elves, and by Sehanin Mumbo.
Good. That is the strength you will need to move forward.
Well, I ain't cutting myself, but I do pledge myself in life or death. I'll do my job, and I'll do it well.
Seville, you are a warrior, and someone that always seeks the truth. You will be my champion. But worry not. The extent of this relationship will be merely a gift that I bestow upon you, as I know your heart seeks another representation in the heavens. However, you will need everything that you can to fight this foe. I cannot give you this gift now, as you are not actually in my presence, but the sword of my champion exists still in Anacroli, and it will make itself known to you. Be aware of it.
Aye.
Erisette, your arrival in Anacroli has been predetermined and fortuitous. Again, even as we speak, foes and potential allies move, and I feel our connection breaking. Do not confuse the two again, as they will do their best to deceive. You must not falter. You understand? You must not. Now go.
Doubt myself again.
Now go! And as that happens, everything blinding light again, and your ears feel a rush of sound and wind and pain and silence. A moment later, you hear distant shouts. Sounded like it's a woman. There's a voice screaming, and you hear Hotsak. You look around, you're once again standing by the rock. The entrance tunnel is right behind you. You look at each other. The sun is above you. It is once again day in the swamps of Anacroli, and you just happen to catch sight of Hotsak disappearing through the trees, screaming, "I'm coming!" and his axe held high, and he's running away from you. What are you guys gonna do?
I got my hand crossbow, I draw it. Wild sauce. Let's go get it.
He needs help. Let's go.
So I got my hand crossbow and hand on a dagger, and we're off towards Hot Snack.
All right. As you push through, sorry, I had to change the news. There we go. As you push through the trees and splash through the puddles of the swamp, catching images of the flash of Hortzak's giant battle axe as he darts through the bushes ahead of you, you see starting to emerge out of the misty swamp a white, kind of maybe pinkish form starting to tower out of the water dripping from it, its maw opening. You see razor sharp teeth and a black tongue that seems to be snaking out and struggling. Hortzak runs past a woman standing at the edge of the water, fighting the tongue. She's holding something, and he goes and swings his axe as you see a woman with red skin standing before you. And you hear a distant shout of somebody else breaking through the bushes to your right, rapidly approaching. You can't see yet. And perhaps yet another voice coming from nearby. Well, let me see who you all see. And welcome our new role players. Welcome, Yeehaw! Genevieve, Brent, and Peter, number 2. Or new Peter, or Winky. You'll find we have a lot of names for him.
Winky!
The Winkster!
All right, everybody. Well, why don't we jump to what you all see here really quickly, and boom. Here we are. So the light's a little bright. Let me turn that down.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow. Gross.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Nope.
What you see before you is a massive, undulating, there's no other word for it, a giant swamp worm. And it's glistening white back skin. It's got a pink, kind of like a muddy pink underside. And currently its mouth is wide open, black tongue snaking out around this small white creature that looks like a cross between a cat and a bunny. It's kind of like a cat with long fluffy ears, with a long tail, and a red-skinned woman is fighting to not let this thing be taken by this swamp worm. So first of all, Genevieve, tell us what we see with your character.
You see me, I am holding on with my hands, trying to rip this creature out of its mouth, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, "Get off of it, you stupid git!" Grabbing, I take my sword and I start slashing away, but I need help.
Okay.
What are we looking at here? What is this? What do you look like?
What do I look like?
Yeah, what are we staring at here?
Yeah, let's see.
I have red skin. I have bright red curly hair. It's all over the place. I'm dressed in leaves and bark and leather. That's all of my clothes.
That's
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm just fighting this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Her muscles are rippling as she's just doing everything she can to hold back. And you see this, she's losing ground, her feet sinking into the muck. She's right on the edge. It's right here. We just got some new minis, and I didn't have time to paint them, so look for painting next week. Sorry, I tried to do everything. And Faruka,
Yes.
you are breaking through the trees and bushes to their right. And I'm actually going to move Hortzak up here. Erisette, Seville. Perfect. And Faruka, why don't you tell us what they see breaking through the trees?
First, out of the trees, you see a hawk fly from the brush and surveys atop the battleground. And following that, you see a red-skinned humanoid, a hobgoblin, coming through the brush. He's decked out in crocodile leather armor, studded with black iron, an iron called Mach. And as he runs out of the brush, you see he's kitted out with a nice heavy blade to cut through. And on his side, a glowing rod of unknown power. He looks rough. He looks tough. But out of his voice, he casts a spell to cripple this little worm.
Nice. Well, hold that spell. And Peter, I'm gonna Winky. We're gonna just have to call you Winky.
Winky.
Gotta be Winky, guys.
Well, I guess we could do Keon. Keon, tell me if you are merging now or if you let me know.
I'll just wait for a moment.
Got it. Okay. All right. So as those of you that are here emerge and see this happening, I need all of you to roll initiative so we can see what's going to happen.
Oh, God.
That was almost terrible for that worm, but it ended up being all right.
Which dice is initiative?
Okay,
Better
so
start the campaign.
20, roll your 20.
20,
you
thank you.
see, yeah, 20, and then you will see right next to your armor class window, it says initiative. It has a
Yeah.
bonus. Add that
Okay.
to it.
Okay. All right. So
Oh my gosh, Judd, you're talking dirty to us with initiative.
I
Come
know,
on,
man. I'm going right into it. I painted this swamp worm in like 5 minutes, and I'm just ready to break it out on the table. I couldn't wait. All right, 20 to 25. Anybody? We have any overachievers? Not this time. All right, 15, 20.
Keeping it real. 15 for Seville.
15 for Seville. Okay. And 10 to 15. Why did I do that one? What'd you get? Genevieve.
12.
12. Okay, anybody else? 5, 10?
8.
Just being humble.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let everybody else go first. That's
5.
fine, Araset. All
I mean,
right.
we've just come through a bit. We were just literally
Yeah.
talking to the goddess.
Yeah, you were just
and,
floating in
yeah.
space, and now here you
A little.
are, straight into combat in the swamp. That's right. We're moving
Ariset's
things
already
along.
wounded herself, so she's hanging back.
That's true.
All
I'm a
right.
cutter.
Keon, we'll have you roll initiative when you come in. All right, so, Seville, you're first to act. And
I just gather. Yeah.
I just want to tell everybody, for our new viewers out there, we are still doing our chaos clock. So, it's 1 minute to the best of our ability, which makes mostly the impetus is on me to remember. And 1 minute to do everything. Your action, bonus action, movement, a little bit of dialogue if you're going to do that. It's really fun. We've been practicing a little bit, and it's really a blast. So, Seville, you're off.
All right, cover me, Ariset. I'm going straight to the side of the head, and I'm coming in hard, and I'm enacting booming blade. I'm taking my rapier, and I am just dropping the hammer on him.
Right to the side of the head of this thing. Okay, as you go out, you step a few feet past Rika, and you sink basically up to your shoulders, and it looks like it's getting deeper. Do you want to keep going? You're pretty
it
close.
water?
You're like 10 feet away. Oh yeah,
Is it
I'm
water?
sorry. This is all that blue thing is water. I thought.
Okay, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just going up. I want to get on this ground with this thing here.
Okay, well there's no ground. It's out in the middle of the water.
All right, well, I'm just gonna. I'm doing it.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. I'm gonna give you a little
All right.
extra time because I forgot to tell you guys there's water there.
All right. That is a 15. Oh, sorry, 12. 12.
12
13.
misses.
That was a 13. Sorry.
13 still misses.
All right.
So you get in, you're so deep, and it's like whoa, and you try to attack, but you've kind of miscalculated how deep this water is.
All right. I'm going to start drawing back, and as I'm drawing back, bonus action, Mind Hammer.
Okay. All right. I'll let you just get that off. That's a nat 20.
Okay.
Oh.
So that one, it survives. Okay. Now it's the worm's turn, and you can see its whole body tenses and undulates and pulls back. You see it's rearing. Rika, I want you to make a strength saving throw for me. So just roll your 20 and add your strength modifier to it, and just tell me what you get.
Strength is 7.
Okay.
No, I don't. Plus 0 strength.
Okay, yeah. So the creature is ripped out of your hands, and you see it just get sucked inside this worm. And Seville, how far did you move back? Seville, you're muted, dude.
Whatever my movement speed was, however
Okay.
much I had left. So I went in. How far to the creature?
Well, you were back here, so you're. I'll say you can probably get
Where
like
did I start from?
back here, kind of like right at the bottom of the map.
So was I able to even get up to that beast?
Yeah, you were able to get there, but you can only backtrack if you're basically right next to Rika right here. And
Okay,
Rika, I'm
all
sorry,
right.
I cut you off.
Yep.
Go ahead, I stopped your clock.
Oh, you stopped my clock. Okay. I'm going to.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. It's not your turn. I just.
Okay.
You were. I think you were saying something, and I cut you off. Are you okay? Awesome.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
good.
So then the worm, Seville, seeing you retreat, it comes up. Its whole body leaps out of the ground. It just comes down for a slam attack on you.
Oh no.
That's definitely a hit. That's 17
Oh
plus 7. Okay.
no. No. No.
That's 10 points of bludgeoning
No.
damage as you just get whomped
no.
by this thing, and
All right, I'm using uncanny dodge,
it's okay.
shifting out of that.
You got it. Take half that, and it's gonna move up there, and that is it. That's its 2 actions. Rika, now it's your turn. Ariset, you're on deck.
Okay. I'm going to cast Scorching Ray. I'm going to throw all 3 of them right at the neck of this monster.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
And how do I do that?
Mark that spell off. And let's see. I'm pausing my clock because we're new here. Scorching Ray. I'm gonna pull up the spell for you.
I know the damage. I just don't know how to roll the
Yeah. So just roll a d20 and add 6 to it.
roll d20.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, 16 plus 6.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. That definitely
raise
hits.
jump?
So that hits, and then 2d6.
So what was
Right.
that? What was that, Kian?
Isn't that it's like 2d6 per ray, and there's like 3 rays? Isn't that
2d6
scorching
per
ray?
ray. So I roll my
Yeah.
6 twice.
You roll your d20 for each ray. So the first one hits. So roll 2
Okay.
more d20s for the attacks.
Oh, okay. 16 again, so 16 plus 6.
Yep.
So I assume that hits.
Yeah, it does.
And a 6. So 6 plus 6 would be 12. Does a 12 hit?
So 2
Okay.
hits. So give me the damage.
2 hits. With a 6, I roll it twice. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay. So 3 and 1. So how does that damage work for 2d6?
That's 4. 4 points.
Just 4? Oh, okay.
But you do
So
it. Do
4?
it again. Yep. So you 2 rays hit.
And then 4 and 4, so 8.
Oh.
Okay.
All
8
together,
points.
that's 12, right?
Oh, was it all? No.
And
How much was the total?
the first hit was 4, the second hit was 8.
Oh, 4 and okay, got it. 12. Okay, cool.
Can I use my bonus action too?
You can.
Can I summon Sparky?
Yes. Okay, tell us what you do and what it looks like.
Okay, so Sparky is my fire friend. He comes out, and he comes out into any form that I want him to be. Right now, he's coming out to be about a human-sized fox. And he is just ready to do whatever I tell him to, but he's made of fire.
Oh!
That's awesome. All right.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
Does Sparky get a turn now?
No, because your time is up. So
Okay.
you can use them next time. Ariset, go.
Okay.
And
I
Faruka,
see
you're on
that
deck.
It'll hurt. And I'm like, no! And I run like this with my rapier, and I just take as much as I can a running leap to go
Okay.
and stab it in the abdomen
Okay. Oops.
with my rapier.
Oops. Got it.
I got my movement. How close can I get?
Yeah, you can full movement. You can get there.
Okay, great. So with a running leap, I run across the water. I get to it, and as I land, and I'm pummeling it in to the rapier.
Go for it.
Okay, that is a 9 on my roll, though. That's a problem.
9 plus. Is that with everything? Oh yeah, that misses. That misses.
Me and Arisette are shook.
Okay.
We're a little shook.
You got another attack. Do you want to swipe again with the rapier?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually, am I allowed to use my rapier? My longbow is dead. My short bow is dead.
I'm gonna say this time because you're kind of half in water. The transition would be too hard for you to pull off, and this plus you're basically point blank now, so you'd have disadvantage.
So no.
Yeah.
So then I just take it again and I just pull it out and it's still
Okay.
fresh with my own blood on it too. And this time I get a 22.
22 hits. All right.
Nice.
Roll your
Nice.
damage.
Pushes in and you hear the I did like puncturing the abdomen right there.
Okay.
And my damage is on this time. Okay, yeah, that'll be a 10 damage right there.
10. Okay. Very nicely done, Arisette. The first one, you run out there and you strike it down. Your footing was a little off. It hits, but it kind of like glances off the skin. Even though it's just skin, it's not armor. It was harder than you thought. So you kind of spin your blade around so you can just jab it right in, and you see it breaks through. The flesh kind of pulls apart, and this like almost this clear liquid is blood. It's like a kind of clearish green. It's really gross. Starts shooting and oozing out of there. That's your turn because you're out of time. Faruka, you're up.
All right, Faruka's running up. He's going to try and position himself as close as he can behind the group.
Okay.
Act as back line, and he's going to cast Mind Sliver. So as the walks up and shouts, "Ooh-rah," the fabric of nature around his head starts to vibrate, and it's going to make the worm has to make a intelligence save. 15.
Oh, intelligence.
Yeah.
This thing's a -3 to intelligence. Oh, and I got a 17, so yeah, 14. What was the save?
15.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, so it's 14?
Yeah, it's 14. 14. Because
Okay.
it's got -3, yeah.
2d6 of psychic damage. So that's a 5 plus 2, so 7 damage altogether.
7 damage, okay. Got it.
And he's gonna shout before he leaves his turn, "Drag it closer to the land. Bring it closer."
Nice.
And that's it.
Okay.
I just pick up the emanations real quick of psychic energy passing me by, and I'm just look and go to myself, oh, really?
Nice. Hortzak now momentarily stunned as these other beings materialize out of the woods, kind of faltered for a moment. Now he's just like, sees that everybody's attacking this worm, just kind of doubles up and runs out. It just has a huge hack on it. For a 2. That misses. But he's gonna maneuver himself and starts pushing Rika back and using his large frame to kind of just block Rika from this worm that's now its maw is opening up, and you just see just these 3 huge teeth on the outside, but just like rows of teeth on the inside for things that resist. All right, that's his turn for right now. He's raging. Seville, we're back to you.
All right. Do I see this creature that this thing swallowed? Can I run up and see it in its mouth?
No, you, all of you saw the tongue pulls back in, and there's like a beak-like structure kind of inside that snap closed over it. But it is kind of now opening, and you see the tongue is starting to reemerge with no creature there.
All right, really quickly. Does that creature belong to you? Is it a friend?
No!
Not the worm! The thing it swallowed!
Oh!
Bunny rabbit. He means the bunny rabbit.
The
bunny rabbit!
The white fluffy cat rabbit.
I was trying to see if it wanted to be my friend.
All right, never the
Didn't
mind.
do anything to anybody.
You're running out of time,
I'm gonna
Seville.
talk real quick. Rapier,
Be careful,
booming blade,
Seville. It might not be
attacking now.
worth it. Don't
Attack.
risk yourself still.
All right, that's 19 plus 8,
That hits.
27. All right. And that is 2 plus 5. So we're at 7 right now.
Okay.
Booming Blade adds another 2. We're at 9.
Okay.
And then my sneak attack, 9, 10 plus 5, 15 points.
15. Okay. Nice.
And then I'm going to drop a Mind Hammer on him again.
Okay. You're out of time though, so you're gonna have to hold that one. All right. And as you do this damage to it, and you can see this thing starts to pull back a little bit, gauging the beings in front of it. It goes for Hortzak. You see the tongue darts out again. Man, the second. That's a terrible roll. Hortzak just like basically punches the tongue, and it shrivels back inside, and the thing goes down right on top of Hortzak. That that definitely hits. That's a 19. Hortzak suffers 11. Sorry, that was an extra roll. 14 points as he just gets pummeled as this just body slams down on him. And he's on his feet, but he's a little shooken up, but he's raging, so he only takes half of that. And that's its 2 attacks. It's going to stay there. Rika, you are up again.
Okay, I'm going to use Sparky, and he's going to cast a Thorn Whip around this creature. If I can get his tongue, that'd be ideal.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll a 20.
20. Yeah.
I think. Okay, I got a 6. That sucks. All right.
That does. It's plus 6, but it still misses. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
But does Sparky get a turn now, though? Or can I use?
That was Sparky's attack. So you can have a turn now.
Oh, I get a turn now?
Yeah.
Okay. Am I close enough to cast Thorn Whip as well?
Yeah, you're standing right in front. Although I'm sorry, were you casting that spell through Sparky?
I was casting it through Sparky.
Oh,
Sparky
okay.
can't cast his own spells.
Yeah, that's right. So no, that was your turn. I'm sorry. So you could bonus action, or you can have Sparky attack if you want.
Okay, I want Sparky to attack. I want him to use his Flame Seed that I think he has.
Very nice.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking for it. I'm sorry. I'm slow.
No. You're fine. You're fine. It's a D20 plus 6.
Okay.
I was checking. Same with the spell modifier.
Nat 20.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. All right.
Come on.
Come on.
Big damage.
All right. Roll your.
Damage is.
Roll your Sparky damage.
Sorry. Damage is.
It's a 2d6.
Sorry.
So roll 2d6. Get that number, then double it, and let me know what it is.
The one that looks like a normal die.
Okay. 2d6. I rolled a 1 and a 2. So.
Okay. So 6 points total damage. That's okay. You're starting to see this thing's getting hacked up a little bit. It still looks pretty solid, but you're doing it. Era's set. You're up.
Yeah.
Faruka, you're next.
So this time I'm going back a little tiny bit, so I actually jump back so I have a better vantage point on shore again.
Okay.
And I fly with my arrows on my longbow.
That's fine. It's going to get an opportunity attack on you, which is 11 plus 7, that's 18. I'm assuming that hits.
Almost 16, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Fine.
I keep rolling 3 times. It's only 2. That's 11 points of bludgeoning damage as piercing damage as its teeth clamp down as you move away. You just feel it tear your flesh. Interestingly, as you were running here, you glanced down at the wound you cut in front of the goddess, and there was no mark. But now, as you're moving away, you look down, and it tore a cut in your arm exactly where you sliced it in front of the goddess.
And I'm hurt bad. Real bad. But that's okay. We're gonna just...
But you're clear. You can now shoot.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna just... Okay. I don't even know. At this point, my mind is racing. And I just let fly with these arrows, and I'm going straight, if I can, into its beak mouth.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That one first. One arrow is a 21.
That hits. Why don't you roll your second attack?
Arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, second arrow. Okay, is a 19.
Oh, both hit. Nice.
right into its beak mouth. And so then I get my 8. And I'm seeing my damage here. Okay, the first one is an 8 damage right in the beak mouth.
Okay.
Right where it hurts. And the other is a 7 of damage. So altogether we've got 15 of damage right in the
Okay.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, now you really are starting to see this thing looking pretty torn up. Nice job.
beast.
Erset, that's your turn. Faruka, you were up.
All right, he's gonna hit it with another and let's make it another intelligence save. See if we can put it down pretty quickly.
Okay.
So 15 to save. For him.
Oh, that does not. That's a 3.
Ooh, okay, okay.
Nice.
So that is a 3 plus a 4, 7 damage
7. Okay.
right now, and I'm gonna check up with Cause, the hawk flying above, and I'm going to telepathically communicate with it to see if it sees anything else coming in while we're dealing with this fine beastie at the moment.
Roll a perception check for Cause.
All right, and since he's a hawk, he has
Advantage.
God, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, nat 20 is the first one.
Oh, okay.
I get to see really good.
Because he's a hawk.
Roll it again. I want to see if you get 2 nat 20s. Let's see if you can see through time and space.
No,
okay.
no,
All
it's
right,
just
still.
a 15.
Still, through Cause's eyes, you scan the area and you can see there are several creatures nearby that seem to be fleeing the area away from this worm. You've seen this before. Creatures do tend to scatter when this thing emerges from the depths. But the last second, as Cause is turning, the head looks down and you see through the trees this glint of armor. It's really bright silver armor with bits of blue. Someone is hiding over on the far side to the left of where the worm is, watching.
All right. Faruka, just in a hurry, is going to yell out just this last bit. Be careful! Something else is in the woods in the back! And that's
Nice.
my turn.
Nice. Okay. So
DM.
Awesome.
Oh,
At this point, how is the fight looking? It looks like the elf is in trouble, from my view.
yeah. It looks like the elf is the female elf is hurt. Yep.
I'm faltering, I'm grabbing my arm where I cut myself, and it's bleeding enormous amounts of blood, almost unusual amounts of blood. It's almost Monty Python levels.
Right. I think it's
yeah.
probably time to end this fight.
It's just a flesh wound. Yeah. Okay. So you want to come in? Why don't you roll your initiative? Let me know where I can slot you in.
That is a leisurely 4.
Oh my God! I
It's a
forgot.
walk in the
after
park,
me.
Kazan's.
That's it.
After me.
That's fine. That's actually still ahead of Hortak, who I forgot to do the last turn. So I'm going to quickly roll his turn. All right. So Keon and Hort. So Hortak's gonna grunt. He's gonna push Rika with one hand. He's gonna push you back again, trying to get some more distance for you. Being the gentlemanly croc that he is, and
I'm good.
and you kind of protest it, but then you see like he has this massive axe, and it like comes right in front of your face as he just swings it wide. This one
right,
connects right with the side, one of the flaps between the 3 main teeth, and you see just rips it open, and the creature like, pulls back, quite pissed. That was great. And 8 points of slashing damage on that. Oh, this thing's looking rough. All right. Then as that happens, you see emerging through the swampy trees to your left, someone in full plate armor. It catches you off guard for a moment because it's beautiful armor, almost ceremonial. Keon, tell us what they see.
Well, yeah, you're quite right that the first thing that would catch your eye almost forcibly is this exquisite, elegant suit of shining silver plate armor with gilded golden wings on the pauldrons and blue trim coming down the center. on the middle of the breastplate is a golden bird emblem. And in stark contrast to the enveloping wings and the beauty of this armor, you see a very, very grim face. Firstly, you see smooth, dark skin with a black mop of hair, green eyes, but just the most sour and severe looking individual, standing at about 6'2" with a powerful build. He comes out looking directly at the elf and that human and looks to make a beeline to intercept the worm.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to say, because you came in at this point, we'll have you, if the thing is still up, you're coming in. You know what, actually, because where the worm is at, go ahead. I'm going to let you, because you kind of slotted in perfectly, go ahead and tell me what you'd like to do.
Well, how deep is that worm is in the water, correct?
It is. And you saw Seville, who's also an elf, go into the water and...
Oh, sorry, 2 elves.
But it's closer now to the shore. So it's probably, you think, maybe about waist deep.
All right. I'm going to head straight towards the worm at a run. And as I do so, you see that there's a large handle on the back of this man. And as he pulls downwards, a quick strap breaks loose and a great sword with a gilded wings for its pommel comes loose. A bright, gleaming silver sword as it just as this man charges straight at the worm. And I'm actually going to take a jump across the water rather than waiting and look to make 2 attacks.
Nice. All
Comes
right.
down over the top.
Roll your first attack.
Love it.
That will be a 17 plus 7, so a 24 to hit.
That hits.
And this, I'll do my damage. That will be 14 points of slashing damage.
Keon, how do you want to end this?
Let's go.
Nice. Come on.
As this streak of gleaming silver, shining metal, clanging armor flies forward, taking a leap out into the water, the greatsword cleaves straight through the maw of this giant worm. And then the man in armor goes swoosh water and is instantly covered in the most acrid filth.
Yeah.
Man's.
And as you do that, you all watch as this thing is just cleaved open, and where the mouth beak was split, and it just falls over, and you just see this kind of black ichor mixed with that clear greenish stuff just bubbling out of this thing. Well done.
Nice.
Very well. Thank you.
Well met, strangers.
Yes.
Well met indeed.
What do you want from me?
Forget that for a moment. Cut out the drinker.
Exactly. And I take
Get up.
my rapier and I'm slicing it like as if I were going to skin it all the way to see if there's still hope of getting this little bunny cat out. And then I'm trying the beak open and seeing, and then putting my arm down its maw and seeing if I can feel around for anything. Do I feel anything?
You don't feel anything with just your arm, but looking at the size of this worm, you can see, like, you kind of feel the internal structure that it would. You're still kind of on tongue. Like, you have to go a bit deeper if you want to see if you can save anything.
All right, so I take my arm out, get the splooge off of it, and I'm just kind of like slice it further down, like peel it apart more, and go in again, like.
So, like, you're kind of going in like its mouth, right? Like down the main hatch.
Yeah, I'm going straight down its gullet, but
Okay.
now farther down.
You roll a perception.
I'm in like the lower intestine, kind of upper intestine.
Well, this thing, so just so you know, this thing, like, at full length is probably about 23 feet long.
I got time. It's dead.
Okay.
I'm
Aracet.
Roll a perception
Maybe-
check for me, Aracet.
Maybe a little lower. Maybe down its belly.
I mean, I'm trying. Perception-wise, I'm at a 7 here, folks. So,
A 7.
I mean,
Yeah, you thought, did you hear, you might, like, maybe some muffled sound, you're not sure. You don't find it.
okay, and I'm like, Seville, do you want to try? My arm really hurts.
I got you, Lass. Wait. Do you know what's happening here? Let this man through. Is it your companion, this little thing that got swallowed up?
No, it's not my companion. But Faruka's gonna turn to Crocman. He's like, you look familiar. Hey, help cut at the middle end with the axe, right? He has an axe, right?
He does. He has a big, giant battle axe, yeah.
You know, start at the middle, I'll work on this end, and we're all gonna cut at once. We're gonna see if we can find this. Hurry, come on.
All right.
That's a good idea.
While this is happening, I'm wading out of the water, and you can see the armor is just like, you can see the brown murky water, like that's pulled in the knees. Yeah, it's draining out of it.
Awesome. You're the X-Wing coming out of the water right now. That's awesome.
You guys always fight worms in swamps.
No,
You always wear
not really.
plate armor around water, my man. And I'll do a little prestidigitation to clean his armor up to get it sparkling again.
But I really want to get this bunny, so I'm just like.
Yeah, so you see Hortzak, he just takes a huge, like, but he like,
Careful.
he looks and he's boom, and he kind of pulls back at the last second. You see the blade hits right where these seams of the sides meet, and it just kind of like opens up like a hot loaf of bread. I don't know, but it's like opens
Meat
up.
flour.
And then he takes another one and he backs up and he like very carefully slices open, and the kind of interior muscle and fat just ripple open, and there is a sack in there, a pink sack. He throws the axe down, pulls out a little dagger, then jabs it in and cuts open, and he pulls out the wet creature and brings it over, and it doesn't seem to be breathing, but he puts it down on the ground and just starts kind of you see it rubbing its chest and kind of pumping it.
What is that thing?
It's a Drenga. It's a Drenga. I don't know what else to tell you.
It's not yours?
No,
Mine? Who are you people? You don't know what a Drenga is?
Not particularly.
No, I'm afraid we don't.
I have a
Swamp
question.
is
Yeah.
not particularly my area of expertise, friend.
Can I use healing spells on creatures?
yeah, you can try. I mean, if a creature is technically dead, it won't work, but you can try. We don't know if this one's dead or not.
Well, everyone, should I try to heal it?
Let me
As long as somebody else has some healing potion, I'm not feeling very good right now.
hold on. Let me check for a pulse, if you don't mind.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
do a medicine check for me.
Medicine, bring up.
It's like animal handling, medicine. We're getting a medicine.
While that's happening, DM, can I go over to the elven woman and produce my healer's kit and start bandaging, helping her tend to the wound?
Absolutely.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, yeah. So you do feel a faint pulse, and you can see Hortzak's pushing down on its chest. There's some liquid coming out of its mouth. It's definitely barely clinging to life.
Here, a spell. He's not long for this world if you don't hurry.
Right. What if I use? Oh, let me see. What if I use cure wounds? So I will touch the creature,
Okay.
and it will regain a number of hit points. Are hit points?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just roll
Yes.
your D8, the diamond one,
D8.
plus 3, and mark off that spell.
Oh, 8 plus 3.
Ooh, yeah. So
Nice.
you see she concentrates, her eyes close, her hand touches the creature, and this kind of like, it's a beautiful gold and green energy that coalesces and moves down her arm and goes into this creature, and you see it immediately like shakes and jumps up It's like, and starts kind of making this noise as everybody's over it. Well, I think that it's going to be all right. And you watch as it just like kind of looks and it gives an extra look at you, Rika, kind of runs over and does a little rub on the side of your leg and then leaps, does like a 10-foot leap into a nearby tree, and you see it just leap from branch to branch and disappear up in some foliage up in this tree.
All right. Although fuzzball should stay in trees and not in the water.
Well, maybe it couldn't help itself.
Oh.
We need to bandage that. You'll keep bleeding, says Kian, while this is happening.
I could help with that, I think.
So Erisette, you see this person in full plate armor comes over to you and pulls out this little kit and starts taking some bandage, and you see smearing some herbs together and putting them on your wound and then starting to wrap a bandage around it.
And while he's doing it, you notice that he's also just very quietly, like, almost muttering an incantation to himself under his breath.
Nice magic about. All
Really
right.
roused and confused as this happens.
It's very dark energies just sort of sitting there bandaging.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. All right.
Do I
Now,
feel better? Do I have any healing from it?
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Oh, do I get...
yeah, it's you get I'm gonna say you get 1 hit point from it.
I've literally stopped the bleeding.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
I could give y'all some hit points if you'd like.
yes, I would like that. I mean, that felt very.
I don't mean to interrupt the moment. But where are the others, and what just happened? Because I suddenly appeared back by the rock, and then I heard screaming.
As for our tale, Hortzak, we'll deal with that when we get back. It's a longer story. Yeah, this man here, or this croc man here, is Hortzak, and why
I
don't you
know you.
get out of this area? Do you really?
I know you.
I'm sorry, I don't know if I recognize your face.
Just a nobody from the swamp. That's all.
Oh, don't say that. Nobody's nobody.
Well,
Everybody's somebody.
Well, let's put it this way. You're a little close to Pelkey, if you know what I mean.
Ah, understood. Well, you're with me, so if you want to come back, you'll be safe. I'll give you my word.
Where are the others? There were more of you. Where are they?
Where are the others?
How do you know that?
What do you mean?
Others.
Yeah, how do you know that?
What, have you been watching us, friend?
I was.
All right. Well, let's take it to Pelkey and get some proper introductions, maybe some ale and food, and I'll be glad to tell you about those others if you'd share a story about yourself.
Fine.
Done. Let's make our way back. And why are you looking so tense? What do you mean, protection? Is his kind not welcome in Pelkey?
More like,
It's it's complicated. For the most part, probably be okay in Pelkey, but you never know.
I mean, I don't want to take him home, but look, I trust your judgment. You're a good man, Croc, man, whatever. What do you think? These are northerners, right? They're not from the swamp.
No, clearly they're not from the swamp, but they're good people, I tell you. They're good people.
Even the one in all the metal armor that's so smart down here.
Can't vouch for that one. Never seen them before.
Not much of a choice on the armor.
You know what? What's that? We need you home, so let's head, if you don't mind.
I think that's a good call. But I don't want to leave anybody behind. Seville, Ariset.
You're not leaving anybody behind. This is us. This is it. We have lost some folks, and they will not be joining us again.
What did you do to them?
Nothing. They
Well,
themselves. It was a test.
Well,
Tails.
I know you
What
two to
test?
be pretty honest.
and like I
so
said, let's get out of the wild here and
I
perhaps get
think
somewhere
we
where
better.
can
But I think
speak.
you've got a couple questions or stories to tell. All right, everybody, follow me. And he turns and starts heading back in the direction that he ran.
Right?
Making a few minutes back to the massive light gray stone that rises out of the swamp. Goes around the front and finds one of the smaller rivers, and there is a boat there tied off.
All right. I'll move up to Ariset and just look at her bandage and take her arm. How you doing, Wild Sauce? That's not a bad field dressing, is it?
Well, but it didn't help much.
Are you all right?
Sustenance soon.
Considering?
The red lady, she says she's got some healing in her. I'll talk to her on the boat.
But
To
you?
be honest, I'm happy. I'm sort of happy to hear what she said.
Aye.
In that realm, I don't know. It took my doubt away.
Maybe later on, you and I could have a talk about things, but not here. Maybe when we turn down or something like that. And I'll get into the boat with Hortzak.
Okay, yeah, he's just finished untying it from a stump nearby. Everybody coming?
I'm coming. You know I am. Come on, if you want to stay on the swamp this night, be my guest.
And Rika, Hortzak moves over to you, and now, no, don't worry. I've just, I've heard of your kind, but I've never met one. Genasi, I think it's called. Am I right?
Yes.
Well,
We're not going to bite.
I'm
Aren't you?
Hortzak. I give you my word. You are safe, so long as you are good with us. It's not far to Pelkey. We're gonna go back to my house there if you want to come.
You want to be friends with me?
Yeah, moving a bit fast, but I mean, yeah, I'm quick to make friends. I got a lot of stories to tell, and everybody in Pelkey's heard them all 1,000 times. They won't let me tell them anymore. So why don't you come?
Don't get him started. He won't shut up.
I won't shut up, but they're really good. Worth your time, I guarantee it. Or at least, we'll get some ale and we'll pass some minutes. Sounds like we got a lot to talk about. And he looks back and with a very serious Crocman expression, kind of eyes you, Seville and Ariset, and turns back. And, well, you might sink the boat in all that armor, but you're welcome to come along as well.
I think I'll take my own. Which I assume is still there, my boat, at some point.
Yeah,
Further down there.
yeah.
Where are we meeting?
Just back to Pelkey. There's a large
fallen trunk on the left-hand side as you approach, covered in moss. My house is right next to it.
Fine.
I'll do some real quick. I'll cast a minor illusion that gives him a lay of the land that is pretty much a semi-accurate map. Just tell him, follow these points here, and they'll take you to where we need to go.
Yeah, and you see kind of a top-down view, kind of crude, but you see that the representation of the river that you're standing on right now, or next to, snakes up and seems to come to a head with two other rivers at a point, and there's some structures that are roughly represented in this magical illusion in front of you.
All right.
But I'll warn you, there are things in the water. Stick close to our boat, and you might live.
Yeah, I'll sink like a stone otherwise.
Well, that's your own fault.
Well, we'll help you. You've helped us. And I go to this red woman. I'm not from these parts either, but I'd be obliged to pay you if you could heal me. I'm hurting. You should come in our boat and do it while we ride.
All right. And staying far away from everybody, I follow them onto the boat and I say my goodbyes to Sparky, and he dissipates into the air. Now I'm by myself.
As the elf says that to the Ganassi, anyone watching or maybe feels that Kaan's disposition darkens even further.
You're all right riding by yourself,
Do I
knight.
perceive that, Judd? Do I notice that with my perception?
Roll an insight check for me, Arisette.
Insight? All right. It's a 3.
Nope.
Yeah, well,
You have other things attracting your attention right now, mostly the wound and hoping that you're going to get some healing from this new woman.
Okay.
All right.
let's get this going. It's going to
So-
get dark soon.
Hortzak climbs in the boat and pushes off, and you all watch as Keon kind of disappears back into the trees, presumably heading for his own boat. And
Not smart. Not smart at all.
And as Hortzak pushes off, we're going to take a quick break, y'all. So, once again, just want to welcome our new players. Lovely people. I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but we do have kind of a big giveaway we're doing tonight. Sorry, like we had a lot to get ready for tonight, and my brain was a mess. So we got some stuff, and we'll come back from break. I'll tell you about that. So definitely stay tuned. You don't want to miss that. Thank you all for the love and support so far, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. So do not go anywhere. All right. Hello and welcome back. Sorry, when anyway, I had to build our be right back screen. It's been a week, y'all.
Hey, y'all, we're in LA. 1 out of 5 of us, 1 out of 6 of us has COVID.
No, I think it's 1 out of 3 now.
I wonder which one it is.
I wonder which one has it right
2
now.
of us probably have it.
Seriously.
Actually, 1 of us literally has it.
But seriously, wear your mask out there. Be safe.
Please, don't die.
So, Ashley,
it's
our producer, is going to tell you in chat right now what we are giving away. Sorry, I thought she just sent me a message because I know we're doing several things. It's an amazing package. She'll text me and I'll tell you what it is. And stay tuned for how to enter. At the end of the episode, we'll have you enter a keyword, and then you'll automatically be entered for the drawing. It's Role Players merch. I believe it's a mini from Thrill Studios. I think we're throwing in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, new book. If you don't have it, you gotta have it because it's super cool.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got some of our characters playing with some new Tasha stuff. No. Sorry. No, we're doing that one too. And Candlekeep Mysteries. We're gonna do both. I'm doubling down.
Oh,
Yeah.
the new book, yeah.
Candlekeep
book of
Mysteries, yeah, the brand new one, and Tasha's. We're gonna do both. It's a big giveaway. We're coming back. I'm super excited. So,
Can we just do a quick, belated little just birthday thing for Brent?
Yes, Brent.
Yes.
I'm an old man, bound for the grave. Almost there.
Now, yeah, we usually just crush these birthday songs, don't we?
Oh, especially over Zoom,
No.
because
Over
it
Zoom.
harmonizes so
It's gonna be
beautifully.
great.
Let's just destroy this birthday song.
Let me hear the pipes.
Bring us in with a bouncy C.
Ah.
Happy birthday to you.
You.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brent.
Brent.
Happy birthday to you. Oh my God, that was a lot.
Thank you guys. I appreciate that.
Sorry, buddy.
So good.
But do you appreciate
Angelic.
it?
I do.
You're like,
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And welcome to the family. Welcome to the
Welcome
Do
family.
you appreciate
But do you really? I mean, that hurt me to do.
It looked like it hurt.
You know, that's
Brilliant.
that was like full on like the Hogwarts school song. If in the
Oh
book
my
you remember,
gosh,
everybody sings it with their own melody.
Hogwarts, Hoggy, Bordy, Hogwarts.
Yeah, there.
Yes, that's so true. It was.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
Okay, anyway, I digress. So yeah, big giveaway. Stay tuned. Let's jump back in. So,
Okay.
Please.
so you've all made your way to Pelkey. You weren't far from Pelkey, actually, as you navigated the river. It is getting later. You see the sun is starting to go down. Again, the light in the swamp is, for those of you not used to it. So Rika, especially, you haven't been in the swamp long, and you look and you see the light, it just has this kind of pale, sickly, kind of yellowish green feels. It filters down through the swamp gas and the mists and everything. The trees overhead really kind of obfuscate the sky and give you that kind of claustrophobic feeling. But as you get closer to Pelkey, the trees start to spread out some more, and you start to see these structures that are that have been raised up out of the murky water on stilts, with these elevated pathways connecting these really poorly constructed buildings of old faded wood. And Hortzak navigates the boat over to the little makeshift dock and ties it off.
All right, well, come follow me and we'll, well, I suppose we can go to the tavern or we can go to my house. I guess we should go to my house because I told that shiny fella to come meet us there. So I've got some ale. Come on.
All right. Stick close. I mean, you're not from here.
That's all right. You can stick close to me, but you'll be all right. You'll be all right. It's really all outsiders that come around that give us problem, not the locals. But, you know, there are a fair amount of outsiders here, as you can well see. Coming with me.
Yes.
All right.
Well, listen, on the boat, had I had my chance to talk with the lady, the red lady?
Yeah, I mean, you had some time.
Okay.
Have I had a chance to heal?
Yeah, you healed. You healed before we went to the break, I believe, right? You got.
No.
You rolled. Oh, I thought you rolled it. Was
That was
8?
for the bunny.
All right.
Yeah, we healed the bunny, but not me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
You need to heal
if
me.
you'd like to do that, go ahead and do a little healing.
I want to be healed.
We'll say as you're kind of walking. Go ahead.
I've got a lot of different spells for healing, so I should probably use the best one, right? One would think.
Yeah, you
Honestly,
could.
I'll make it worth your while. I'll pay you, and I'm pretty brilliant. If you make me strong, I'll be useful to you. I promise.
Why do you want to pay me?
Just because I don't know if you care about me, and I care about me, and I want to pay you so I get healed.
I don't want your money. I'll just heal you, all right?
I mean, you don't have.
No, I want to.
Okay.
I want to.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. I roll. I'm going to.
You don't. Yeah, you just roll your. Are you going to do cure wounds again?
Maybe. Yes. But I'm gonna do a higher level.
Okay. Nice.
Because why not? I'll do third level cure wounds
Wow. Okay.
to give her what you know.
Okay. Yeah. That's.
So what am I rolling here?
Just roll your d8, the diamond one, 3 times, and add 3. So 3d8 plus 3.
6, 7.
Wow. Nice.
That's math. Help.
That's 19.
19.
Jinx.
plus 3.
22.
So 22 total.
Oh, that's amazing! I feel so good. Oh my God! Thank you. Oh, I feel amazing. Thank you. Oh,
Of course.
how did you do that?
I can cast spells. Isn't it obvious?
I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, that guy, he like wrapped a bandage around me, and it was nice, but I didn't really feel like this. Like this
He
is
obviously doesn't know what he's doing, does he?
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know him. I'm just saying, and I'm not judging. I'm just saying that was amazing. Thank
no,
you.
judge him. It's funny. It's very funny.
But listen,
Hold on a second. Lady,
yes.
no, how did you do that? Do you worship a goddess? How did you produce something like that?
It's none of your business.
What's your name?
I wouldn't do that in the open too often. You're going to get a lot of questions. I didn't think that was possible here.
Call me Rika.
All right, Rika. My name's Seville. It's nice to meet you.
How about we take this in my house? We're right here, just around the corner.
Come on, stick close.
Thank
You
you.
know, anything out of the ordinary can attract attention here, so let's just move about.
Especially these days. So, come on.
Okay.
Indeed.
Well met, Rika.
Yeah.
And thank you.
And it only takes a
course.
moment for him to lead you down these pathways and into, another one of these kind of ramshackle houses. His is a bit larger than some of the other ones that you passed. And it does have this massive tree, which those of you who have explored the rest of it accurately have seen some of these trees that are like several 100 feet high. This one probably goes out about 100 feet and is broken, and it's just covered. The one side of it towards the north side is just covered in this really beautiful bright green moss. But
Wait, are we not back at his original home? He's got
no, same.
another pad?
No, same
Oh,
one,
okay,
same one.
okay, I got it.
And he
got it,
pulls
okay.
back the leather kind of flap that is his doorway and just walks inside. And you see a very kind of cozy little space. There's a table directly across from the entrance. It's dark in here. There are windows, but there are coverings over it. You see there's some, his small keg is still there with pipe weed. And he's got several casks in the corner.
Well, everybody, pull up a seat, and I'll get some ale. Everybody want ale?
Yeah. I'll have Cause fly up to basically the roof of our croc friends at home, and I'll have him be on watch.
Okay, great. So actually, why don't you roll another perception check for Cause as he's. Is it he, she, they? How does Cause identify?
Well, let's make her a she.
She. Okay. So she lands and quickly, sharp glances, looks about.
So this is a 12 plus 4, so that's 16, and with advantage, so that's a 13 plus 4, so 17.
Okay. So, Kion, did you delay your return, or are you kind of right on their heels?
I think I'm probably like 1 or 2 minutes behind, but sort of more or less on their heels.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. So, Kaz watches as several people move about the small city of Pelkey, and you can see Pelkey sits on the edge of the swamp. Dry land kind of goes off. There's one long walkway that goes to dry land, and the rest of these buildings sit in this mire. But nothing looks, challenging or dangerous. And she looks southward again and can see the lone boat coming up with the armored person.
Looks like our shiny metal friend should be here in a moment. So let's not wait. Can we introduce ourselves? Who are you folks? And Ordzak, where have you been? Things have been happening.
Well,
you
I'd like to hear about that, because I've been up here waiting for adventure to fall in my lap, which it did with this lot. So we'll talk about that in a moment. Here are your ales, and he passes out these tankards of ale.
Did you poison this?
Not intentionally.
Hopefully.
It might only taste like it, no, but it's safe. Here.
And he drinks.
Well, that's
But,
tastes fine. Thank you.
I think I'd like to start with what's going on. You two, you know what I mean. What's going on?
Well, I'm not at liberty to say, and I don't know you really an explanation in front of people I haven't met before. So if you excuse us, I'd like to do introductions and find out who we have in our midst before I tell you anything further, if you don't mind, Hortzak.
Well,
You know
don't mean
where
to
I'm coming
skip-
from.
I do. Very well. Very well. I'm Hortzak, everyone. If I haven't met you, welcome to Pelkey. Welcome to my house. Welcome to the once forever swamp, and may not be as forever as previously thought. But I'm I'm gonna get some pipe and sit back and let y'all talk till it's my turn.
Well, I don't mind the pipe at all either, so
Rika,
smoke them if you got them, folks.
Rika.
What?
You wouldn't accept money, but I have moss, if you would like, and it's very soothing on the feet. And if you would like, I could give you a foot massage. It's a very where I come from. It's very soothing and healing. It stimulates and clears all the blood. It's exhilarating and comforting. And if you would like, I could repay the debt.
I'll go into Arisette's mind and just telepathically tell her there's got to be a different way to break the ice. I mean, look at her face.
Too soon.
It might be just a bit too soon for the foot rubs, but you know, I
think you're right.
But players, welcome to the game.
Okay.
Somebody just won a pool for at what minute Arisette talks about the foot rubs. So
Okay.
it's a thing.
Rika, you said your name was Rika. Don't mind her. She means well. She does.
It's fine. It's not for
Everyone
everybody.
says they mean well, but it doesn't mean that they actually do.
No, I did,
She's
but
right.
I do understand. It's not for everyone.
Yeah. No, we know that all too well. Someone who means well and then turns out to be other.
Are you
Let's
other?
just-
Honest, Cyril, they never meant well. Come on, I could sort of tell it. I never trusted Otto, never. I never had a good feeling about him. I'm not surprised in the slightest, actually, about him.
I know.
Now, Dagmara, I'm a bit surprised. I had hoped she could come through. I really did. But you know what the goddess said? I had the same fear. And as for
Goddess.
Tabby, honestly, she was a terrible influence on me. I think when I killed that person,
Oh, you a
the
killer.
bazaar. But no, I'm not. Normally not. No. In battle, yes, if must. But normally not.
Hey, I enter.
This is why animals are better than people.
Oh, well met, friend.
Again, not wrong.
Come on in and join us. We've got ale and we've got pipe.
And
Sit
I
down
take
if
a
you'd
big
like.
swig of my ale now. It's just
So
Welcome,
let's go around the room here and see who we have going on. I suppose
yeah.
I'll start first.
Come and would you like some ale on some pipe weed?
Please, you don't mind if I leave my greaves on?
No, whatever makes you comfortable, my friend. And
Like clunk, like bang my feet, like try and get some of the mud off them.
Here. I pressed the digitatum clean. Just like, hurry up, sis.
Again. This might be a theme.
yeah, and you all watch as suddenly all the muck and the stuff that he couldn't get as he was traveling in the boat to get here just suddenly is gone, and it's sparkling, shining, beautiful armor.
It's a useful spell.
Yes,
I'm gonna remove my
I know.
sword. Okay. I'll just like lean it next to the door.
Yeah, you see Hortzak really quickly reaches for his axe, but then relaxes and like,
Apologies. Well, come in, grab a seat. We were doing introductions.
We're doing names.
Names.
Yeah, I'll start first. My name's Seville Ranta. I'm from near around Carthen. And I'll start there. And I found myself in Pelkey with some friends, or though we thought, and we don't have them anymore. That's all I'm saying for now.
I look at this elf lady, and you're with him, right?
my name is Arisette Favriel. I'm actually of the Moon Elf Kingdom.
The what?
The Moon Elf Kingdom.
That's
the
supposed to
Moon
mean
Elves.
something to me. It's
You've not heard of the Moon Elves?
no.
What? Really? What dimension are you from? Are you from here?
I'm from here. This is my home.
I see. Well, we're fabulous people, and
Sure.
they're very dear to me. In fact, I am their leader to be. When my father dies, I am the leader of the realm, and right now they rely on me for guidance. And I was called here by terrible visions of portent, of terrible portent.
Well,
And I came and met Seville, and we've become fast friends.
Oh,
Called from
nice.
where?
What?
Called from where?
Yeah.
From my kingdom. I came.
I'll go right
onto
to
a ship.
Ariset's mind. Careful with what you tell him. Tell him you're near
right.
Carthan. Near Carthan.
Yes, I came down the river to Pelkey because.
You all came down the river.
Yes.
Look, let's just move on. You're not really making much sense. We'll come back to this. You,
Oh,
fancy.
shut up, Faruka.
Oh, whatever. Fine. You. Who are you?
Who am I? I told you my name's Rika.
And?
Isn't that enough?
Yeah, that's fine. Fancy shiny man. Your name?
My name's Kian Hanalor. I'm the light bringer of the Church of Kaya from Carthan.
The church.
And I gesture down to the bird symbol on my breastplate, which is still on, though I have removed my my gauntlets.
I thought that looked
The Church of
familiar.
Kaya.
And do you have communion with your?
No.
Nah. And I look over to Rika. And you, affiliated with a goddess, god? How did you produce your healing talents?
What's it to you?
I'm just curious. I don't want to butt in or make you uncomfortable. It's just that I thought healing powers were crippled right now due to these gods and goddesses being cut off from Anacrally. And when I saw your healing, it surprised me greatly.
Where does your magic come from?
Well, maybe I don't know everything that's been going on in the cities, all right?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Where have
I
you
was just
been?
asking.
What do you mean? Where have you been?
I live in nature, and that's all I'm going to say about that right now.
Do you live here in the swamps?
No.
What brought you here?
I can see we're not so easily going to release information about ourselves.
No.
What about you, Faruka? You are you from here? Because you certainly seem like you know your way around, and especially know this man, Hortzak.
Certainly have a need to ask everybody questions all the time, so what is it?
Well, there's a need to ask questions in this time. Now, I look at Hortzak. Things have been happening a little further south. There were travelers, mages, dark robed men. There's been some killings. There's been attacks. People are missing. It's very dangerous to be out here right now. We don't know what's going on. And that's why I'm asking all of you who you are, because you're part of these strange happenings to me in my home. Just random strangers. From where? From a kingdom we've never heard about? From this strange man who's in armor that makes no sense? Her little Miss I'm so good and I'm so angry. Look, I've been in the swamp looking for my friend. I haven't seen him in weeks, and I'm a little desperate. So I'll just start with this. Have you seen a tiefling, red skin, wild mane, bit of an asshole, goes by the name of Ruzba?
No,
No.
Oh, I don't think so.
I can't say that we
I don't
have.
think so.
Then have you heard of these dark robed men magic users.
Well,
Dangerous.
now that
Look over
we
at
can
Arisets.
probably
Yes.
talk about. So
Yes, we have.
you've heard of them down in your area.
Yes, by Altinic researchers, you know,
Oh, I
on
know.
the tower. I know. I know.
Alternate, well, still.
Altonic's fine. Altinic is same, sly.
Alternate is Alternate, I know. There, you've walked into a bigger story, my friend. I have not seen your friend, but I will inquire with the locals and see if we can locate
Please. And any news of anyone else missing? There's been a few.
I could ask the plants
You can,
about your friend.
Plants.
I can speak to them.
Can you?
Hortzak
How?
They tell me things.
looks at you, kind of sits back with a kind of knowing look. I see. So I think I do know where you get your powers. From the world
Where's
itself.
that then?
The world itself. You are
Maybe.
part of nature.
Oh. What are them?
Lots of different magic in the world. Not all of it is gone just because the gods have whatever they've done.
I don't know anything about any gods.
That's a bell. Take the tree. The tree. Get the bell.
Is she okay?
Arisets, hey, Arisets,
Oh, no.
I ate it.
Why?
I consumed it.
Barf it. Poop it. Do something with it.
not
Give it
it.
to her.
No. The tree has been passed between everyone. This is something, and I'm sorry that you do not know the story of this, and perhaps you will, but this tree was destroyed. And I took the ashes and I did an act of consumption to Chateauroux, thinking something might happen to protect the thing in case it came back in a different form. I don't know why I did it. I was just compelled to do it. So there was just ashes, Arisette, and Tabby had them, and I took them away from her. I didn't know what she would do with them.
I mean, you ate the ashes, all of them.
I did.
Is Tabby one of the other members of your party?
She was halfling.
Yes.
Halfling last.
Dead?
No.
well-
Where are they?
Transported, I think.
That's
I
a
think
good
they're
word
well.
for it.
I believe
don't-
they've
Magically.
been. Yes, definitely.
You all went into that hovel.
We
and only
did.
2 of you came out.
There was 5 of us, yeah.
Well, technically 3 of us. I tried walking through a door after these folk and found myself back outside again.
Yeah. Yeah, not so lucky for Otto, if I'm to get her words that he was delivered back to his captive Belial. So, did you say Lightbringer?
Yes, I did.
The head?
High Paladin.
Yes. Yeah, I know that one.
I'm
Or at
sorry.
least I know that order.
Is this supposed to mean something? What is this High Paladin? And what's this? What was your city's name again?
Carthen.
Parthen.
Well, look at them. Look, something's drawn you here, right?
Yes.
Now, I'm guessing if these dark men are familiar to you, they're not exactly kind as I know them. And you, Paladin, is that your job? The thing? Your title? Whatever? Did this draw you here too?
They drew me here.
Do you know who they are?
Prefer to keep that information to myself for now.
Look, I'll help you. Look, if we are on the same side, I just need to find where they are and at least have a discussion about what's happened.
With them?
I don't know. I don't know who them is. I don't know what's going on. Yes.
They're not
They know
people
what's
that you talk with. They're not people that you talk with. They're not people that they. No.
Then
You're
who
under
are they?
Seville.
Yeah, I know. Just listen, I know you're in pain. I see that you're in pain.
Pain?
They're
Pain?
necromancers. They're necromancers, my friend. They're necromancers. That's who they are. That is what you've seen walking around. We've done battle with them. We've tracked them.
We've seen what they do.
See what they do firsthand in a city called, well, I suppose that's not important, but you're looking for necromancers, and so are we.
Is that why you're here?
That is why we are here, yes.
That is 100,000% why I am here.
Why? Well, that remains to be seen. And I prefer not being rude, but I'd like to keep that to ourselves, or Seth and I, for now. But we're here looking for probably the same thing, Faruka.
Mm-hmm.
And if you would like to listen, if you don't mind, it's been a tough road with companions. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit nervous about new ones and their intentions, as we got mightily burned a couple of times. And I'm just wary, and I'm tired. And so I don't distrust you, and I don't mean to be rude, but I'm just going to sit back here and listen to you. And perhaps we have some similarities where we could go together, but I'm just a little bit maybe distrustful, and I apologize for it. And I'm just going to smoke my pipe here.
It's fine. I understand. I live out here. Everything's not very soft and kind, if I could put it to words. It's a hard life out here. Now, let's not say we're friends, because I don't think we are. Not really companions either, but if we could make this a business arrangements, I could see that we could work together in a very resourceful fashion. Just by looking at you all, I know you're not from here. I don't know if you know how to navigate these lands, these waterways, but
I don't.
Shouldn't judge people before you get to know them.
Who says that the necromancers are only on the waterways?
Who says you know?
What do you even want with necromancers? Why are you chasing them?
Me or her?
Her, the elves. Those two.
The simplest answer is because they're necromancers and they're doing a lot of damage. But I have a feeling you and I might know some similar things, perhaps?
Perhaps. Perhaps we should speak. Alone.
Well, if you're going to say it to each other, you could say it to everybody else.
No.
No.
Rika, with the deepest apologies, we've learned to trust less freely.
I stand up and I storm outside.
Who is she, Faruka? Where? That
That's her
entanglement you
business.
got in. Do you know her
That's-
before this?
No, I don't know any of you except for Hortzak.
Seville, she's obviously hurting. Okay, she's been alone, and I
Talk to
know. Yes,
You're good at it. Go talk to her. Calm her down.
I
Give
do.
her a friend, maybe.
I go out to her right away, and I say, Rika.
What do you want?
I just want you to know that
That what? That you're just trying to keep everything from me, but yet you still want to bring me along and want to use me and want to use my spells? Is that what it is?
No, I want a friend. Very desperately. I thought I had some, and it turned out I was wrong. And right now, the only person that I know I can trust is that elf you see in there. I know that he is good. And I know the people from my kingdom are good. And I know that I love all that is good. And I know that that is at risk. And I know that I want to change that. And that is all I know right now. But I sense in you the same fear that I have felt. And so I beg you not to run, but just stay and see if we can trust.
All right, I'll stay. But if I find out that anyone is trying to use me, if I find out that anyone wants things from me, and that's the only reason they want to be friends with me, then I'm done.
As well you should be.
Let's go back inside then.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry about the foot rub thing. I'm learning healthy limits because it's different.
Gross. It's gross. It's really disgusting. So you should really not.
Yeah.
Maybe not offer that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I get that now. I mean, I've been told that we have love languages. You know, some of us really like touch, and some of us don't. And feet are sensitive.
You know, quality time is really what a lot of us are just wanting. So I think that maybe keep that in mind for the future.
Yes.
Quality time.
Well, when I get home, let me tell you, I like a foot rub once a week. But we are not where I am from at all. And so, yeah. Anyway.
Shall we?
Thanks. Yes.
And I lead the way back inside.
Listening to that conversation, I say to Seville, she processes grief strangely.
I think you'll grow to understand why I call her Wild Sauce.
Sauce. Is that the name? Well.
You're speaking about the moon elf, yeah? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's passionate. She's extremely passionate. Yeah.
And they both come in at that moment too, as you kind of trail off saying that, and Arisa, you hear those last words.
Call her what?
Sauce. He said she's sauce.
Ariset? Yeah, Wild Sauce.
Well, I don't like instructions, let's put it that way. I'm not used to following them. I'm used to giving them.
Another one.
Well, when did you lose your friend? How many days out? And how urgent is this that you go and look for your friend?
It's been a week. It's been a long time out in the woods. But he's not one to die. Not easily, at least. No.
All right. Let me...
Well, actually, let me jump in here for a moment. I'm worried. Where I was taking you. Actually,
that's what I was going to ask.
I know I was taking you to the wrong. That's weird. Now,
You see, he just kind of sits back for a moment and is like, well, now,
Faruka,
Yes.
all the way down in your area, you've heard about the necromancers. Are they close to your home, we'll call it?
They were in it.
In it?
Yes. You know what we do.
Oh, indeed.
We could not resist, but I wasn't really dealing with them directly. I only heard about involvement in there. But from my friends said there was strangers there. They had information. Then the killings, the disappearances, and the stories from further out. Like, no one knows what's been going on for at least a week, and we lose more and more every day. And I don't say we're desperate, because we're not that kind. We're strong. We can survive that.
Oh, indeed. Indeed.
We do not know. And you know that we are people who know. So I'm trying to find out as much as I can, help as much as I can. I just fear there's unseen repercussions that will happen if we do not find them soon. So, Rika, right?
Yes.
You're a tree speaker. I'm not sure the name for it, but you could ask the plants, right?
I can ask the plants, yes.
Can you ask them about my friend, about these dark robed men? I don't know how far out, because my hawk can see a bit, but any direction we can find, I could take us the way there.
Well, not to interject, but as I started to say, I had heard whisperings of some, black cloaked people in the swamps. I was taking these fine folk here to them.
They are everywhere. They are everywhere. They have spies. They have spies in the animals. They have spies everywhere.
Well, Erisette, where I was taking you to is not, I can't explain this, was not the right area. I have an image in my head I did not have before. I think before stepping into that place, down that rock tunnel. It is far south. It is past your home, Faruka. It's deeper down than I realized. In some ways, but we are headed.
That's where we have to go.
We are headed there anyway. Well, we were anyway.
You know what's south of my home, right?
I know much of the swamps. I do.
If it's there, we wouldn't look there.
What do you mean you misjudged the spot? You know what I'm looking for, and you're saying it's not close to here anymore?
As I told you before, I was taking you to a spot from whisperings I had heard of where these were. I'd never seen them with my eyes. But I can tell you now that something has told me, and I don't know how. Did you say you were talking to did I hear God or something?
Yes. What's that about?
Because I see something in my mind that was not there before, and I've had a lifetime of adventure, and that's
Velker?
Seville. And I pull him aside. Remember, the goddess said she was helping in any way she could. She must have given him something. I think we need to give more information to these people and determine whether we can make them.
God.
What?
You're right. Can I? Sorry to make this a habit, but I just need to check in for a second. Paladin, I didn't catch your name. Kian, could I slip outside and let's clear some information together?
Fine. And you, as that conversation was happening, Kian's actually removed the large ornate pauldrons, which each individually have two golden wings sloping upwards into points on the shoulder, and they just rest on the table.
All right, so I'll step
Fine.
out with Kian and I'll look to Ariset and go in her mind. If you have an impulse, Ariset, share it with Hortzak. Maybe you're right. I'm just going to clear some things up with my fellow Carthian.
Okay.
All right, and I'll step out with Kian, and I think you and I may have some similar reasons for being here, perhaps?
My reasons for being in this swamp are to track and understand what you and the members of your party were doing. But seeing as 3 of them are now missing, I feel like I have to intervene.
You're tracking me.
On behalf of the church, to see what you guys were up to. You were unsure. You left the capital rather quickly. In a hurry, perhaps.
Do you know who I am? Do you know what or who I work for?
Not particularly, but I understand that there were outsiders in your group.
That's correct. Do you know how far outside?
I
And
do
I'm
not.
sorry to lead you here, but I need to know what you know.
I do not, though I carry the will of the church.
All right. And you know these outsiders were quite different.
So I've heard.
I'm going to tell you something, and I hope Paladin means you're true. Again, and I've had some. Well, I spoke that before. I am Seville Ranta, as I told you, and I am Edgeguard of Carthan. And I am
Aye.
tracking as Faruka in there is very despondent, and he speaks of a pain in which we have seen before in a city called Luknor. We've seen these necromancers in action. We see what they do, and we are after what they are after. Do you know, and perhaps you do, the god Fernuge?
DM, have I heard of that god?
You have, strangely, only in passing. Whenever sometimes curses are thrown out, you know it is an evil god, but you haven't been instructed on it.
I don't know much. Mainly schooled in the ways of the gods of the capital.
I understand. Then you'll forgive me if I shorten the information I was going to give you. What position do you have in your church?
I am the High Paladin on the Council of Keepers. I carry the will of the church, and I am sent directly by High Priestess Malara, who you've met before, who took quite an interest in you.
All right. Yes, I am. I'm tracking these necromancers. Ariset is my companion. We had a few others. This goddess that we interacted with, Valkyr. I have not heard of this one before. She seems here, but not here. Having information, but not precise. It was hard to listen, communicate with her. The gods they seem like they're speaking directly, but at least to my ears, there was just patches of information. And it is about are you familiar with the departing?
I am.
Well, it's about that, and that is my mission. That is what I think is wrapped up here with the necromancers. There's something they are doing. They are trying to bring back an old god, a god of loss, god of corruption.
Did you just say that to confirm, you just said that you believe these necromancers are connected with the abandonment.
I believe so, yes. That's what we're trying to find out and discover.
I see. Is that elf in there? Is she from the outside?
Let's leave that for now. Let's leave that for now. Why are you so interested in myself?
My interests are the interests of the church.
Oh, I heard that. I'm just curious to see what those interests of the church are.
Your connection with the outside coincides with my oath. I am to understand why the gods abandoned us.
I see. Well, then you may want to stick around, and as I travel with you more, I can perhaps let you know more. And I would appreciate you sharing your intel as well. And perhaps we could work together in this, because it seems like we have a bit of an accord here.
As far as the Church of Kaya is concerned, you are very important people to our understanding. So I will protect and help you now that the rest of your party has been transported. Will they return?
I think not.
I see.
Not by the words of this goddess. It seems like she has placed them elsewhere in a determined fashion.
Have they gone outside?
That I don't know. That I don't know.
DM, do I believe him?
Roll an insight check.
Not very insightful, Kian. That will be an 8.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, he seems forthright.
Let us go back inside before the others think we're conspiring.
No.
And we'll talk more, I'm sure.
And is that...
You can...
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I can trust you. Yes, we'll see. We'll see. And what do I think about him, DM?
Why don't you roll an insight?
All right. 15.
Yeah, he definitely seems like he's honest. I'm going to send you something else. As you two are having that conversation inside, Hotzak is looking at you, Faruka.
We don't have to get into specifics about it, but how's it coming overall, other than the disappearances?
The foundation's still sinking, but we've been doing pretty well. The research it's actually flying.
Really?
We're getting a lot done. We're getting so much done. We have... I had a breakthrough. I was able to decipher some of the texts that we've collected from around, and it's glorious. I didn't think we would be able to do this much. If it wasn't for all this happening, this would be a truly happy time.
Well, I don't think the road people are after you or what you're doing. It might be collateral, but I've seen other people try what you're doing and not succeed. So I'm impressed.
Thank you. We've worked very hard to come this far, and it still seems like there's so much more to go. Razba, my friend,
Rika.
No, not you.
Thought you meant me.
You remind me of him. A little edgier, but he was like you. He collected stories. Stories from around, stories from what we were able to dig up. I didn't really understand most of all the fantastic nature of it, but if what the stories say are true, I want it. I want it, and I know we can get it. But these necromancers, they
I understand.
there are dark gifts. There are very dark gifts that you can be given. But I have a question. Rika doesn't seem so bad. She seems like she has a head on her shoulder at least. The other two. Sorry, elf. But do you trust? Trust is hard, but are you okay working with them?
Well, I'll tell you, I understand. Oh, trust me, I understand where you come from. You have every right to be careful. You'd step, 100 feet that direction and wander off, and anybody kill a hobgoblin walking around. I get it. I do trust these two, absolutely. I happen to know somebody close to Seville. I've known her for a long time, and she is a woman of her word, and she vouched for these. So I do trust, and it's not a lying word that I'm using. I do trust.
All right, then. Orisette, Saucy, Wild Sauce.
Yes, both.
Sorry, I'm not good with kind words, but I am in desperate need of someone to work with. You know more about these robed men, right?
I think I know what to expect of them, and I know what to do to defeat them. Sort of.
Close enough. If trust is hard, we do not need trust. We need a goal. Where I'm from, all we have are goals. It's not a... It is home, but it is not kind. We find kindness often false and fake. But if you work with me, I will work with you, and we can achieve a simple and equal goal. Hopefully simple. And if you and your friend help me, Resba has been with me most of my life. He's my best friend. And you seem to have a need to know what is going on here. I look at what, Zach? I will take you to my home, Yaxis. We do not accept strangers lightly. We never really do. But I will welcome you into my home for the help you could give. Will that work?
I go to him and I take his face in my palm
Please. Please.
And I kneel in front of him. And I say, I know not what they've done to you, but I swear to you, I bear you no ill. And if your goals align with mine, you will be my fastest friend.
I bring my hand to you. Shake and the deal is done.
I shake and I touch my necklace at the same time, just to make sure that I'm doing the right thing this time.
Roll an Arcana check for me, actually, not an Insight.
Natural 20.
D&D is fucking real, you all.
Yeah.
So, your hand almost, it feels like it's moving on its own accord as you notice it and it touches the necklace, and you feel this cooling sensation emanate from it, and it passes through your body, and the fear and the confusion and the doubt and the panicked eagerness to get underway, it all washes away for a moment. And you see in front of you, almost like you see an aura for a moment around Faruka and around Rika, and you can't quite explain it. It's a soft, like a soft blue sort of energy for just a moment. And you know that this has good potential. And like a moon passing behind clouds, it slowly dissipates.
So can I call you Ruka and I can call you Rika? Or is that tacky?
If it works for you, it works for me.
Although I do really like
Here.
having my own name.
Well, we'll see. But you can call me Saucy, and no one's really ever done that before, and I kind of like it.
Okay, saucy this. Now, will your friend accept?
Oh, yeah. He's good.
And you
He'll
guys,
do whatever I tell him to do.
and you come in right at that, Seville, and you hear that.
So, just to be clear, I didn't catch any of that, like, aura or that eminence.
No, you didn't. No, none of that. None of that was perceived by anybody else in the room.
I'm sorry, I had just a little like something or wax in my ear. Did I catch something at that end there, Wild Sauce?
Ruka was wondering if we would help him find his friend. And I thought for sure you would be good with that since you're so nice.
Very flattering. If your friend has something to do and is an entanglement with the necromancers and we are going in a similar direction, then I would be willing to help you find and recover and save your friend, yes.
Portsak, I need you to explain something to me because I can't understand it. What is the problem with a hobgoblin? What do they do to hobgoblins around these parts?
Oh, you must be from a different place. Even myself, monsters as elves and humans and dwarves and the other folk, the fair folk, call us, often attack us before saying hello. Now there are evil versions of everything, but there's a lot of a lot of discrimination down here against anything that. Pardon for saying this. That doesn't look like you two. Well,
he's saying if you don't look pretty, you get stabbed. That's just all there is to it.
That's more succinct. I've been more delicate in my later years, but yeah, you are. Now listen.
Has it always been that way?
Yes. I told you what it was like for me as a young croc. It's not an easy life, and people shoot first and try to skin you later. That's why I stayed in the swamps. There are good kingdoms, but even good kingdoms won't allow every kind to just walk about.
Come to think of it, I didn't see anybody with red skin when we were in that very fancy city. Do you remember? Seville, we were in that very, very fancy, wealthy city.
You mean that one that you're from?
No, Asley.
Yes, Asley. Everybody did sort of look very similar.
And
I
Asley,
never really thought about it.
You'd see more in Vorden maybe, but not Asley. Listen, I think introductions are done. We need to have a game plan and we need to move.
One thing, you, shiny man, what, Keon was your name?
Yes.
Do you come to this swamp with ill intentions for its people?
Do you think I come to the swamp with ill intentions?
Can I get an insight?
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
looking at him.
Yeah.
And I'm just holding his gaze.
Well.
That's.
I rolled a 5.
Yeah, you don't. He's a man of few words. Yeah, you don't have much to go on yet. He definitely has a sour kind of expression, and then a quiet intensity to him.
I serve Kaya, goddess of love, of healing, and of good fortune. And on my oath, I do not bring ill intentions to this swamp.
I think a bit. Now, I'm so far south. Would I know about his god?
Do a history check. There's a chance. I mean, especially given the focus of your home.
Dirty 19.
Yes, I'd say you've heard, I mean, you don't know much, but you definitely have heard that name, and you've heard the association as one of the good goddesses.
Well, he's not the bright, flowery, sunny type, if that's what you're looking for, but I think he speaks true.
Sounds like you do well at your home.
Well, considering who runs it and everyone there. Look, I'll tell you what I told Saucy.
Saucy?
It's her name, right?
I'm good with it. I like it.
All right, then. Saucy it is. All right, yeah.
If you chase the same dark robed men that I know that they look for, I could bring you to somewhere where we could find a lot of knowledge on them, I think.
Really?
I think.
Is that so?
I think. I do not know, but they were there. You might find a trail. I'm looking for my friend. I'm not looking for them. But they were there and they may know.
Well, good. I have a name that I might ask them about.
As you say that, you all hear the door open, and you look behind you as the leather is pulled aside, and you see another croc person. And Hortzak's looks at him and, excuse me, I'll be right back. And
wait, Hortzak, What's his name?
I'll be right back. And he walks out the door.
Damn, they've got such great names. I wanted to hear another one.
Do you trust this Hortzak?
Well, he has a similar connection. We have the same connection. So far, except I'm a little taken aback by him not. He was leading us in a direction, and now this looks like he's leading us in an entirely new one.
But I think Valka might have given him more information. He might have just not known, right? It's possible that this is an improvement, that we were going in the wrong direction and now she's helping guide him even better. I mean, she said that she would give us visions. Listen, we just came from a very phenomenal, an unusual situation, and I'll get into it later after we have some time.
You keep saying that.
Yes.
All right. And he comes back in. He's like, my apologies on that. My acquaintance has told me that there have been some sightings of some dark-robed people near the town.
Pelkey, near here.
Near here.
Let's go then.
Loitering about. I think it's a good bet that that they are looking for us. I think we need to move. I think we need to move now. If we need any resupplies, we grab it on the way out. Otherwise, we need to get back in the boat, I think, and we need to get out of here.
Are there any portals near here that you know of, Hortzak?
None near here that I know about. Faruka, roll another perception check for your cause, for your eagle. Hawk.
Okay, that one is a 15, and that one's a 14.
Okay, so nothing looks out of the ordinary.
How big was the contingency here?
Just a couple people loitering and keeping eyes on the town, asking questions at the tavern.
Well, do you want to grab one of these little?
They're not
peckers?
here now. They're not here now, but
They're not?
They keep showing up.
Faruka, so
Yes.
let me tell you, when I'm going after them, yes, I'm interested in learning about them, but I'm also looking to kill the motherfuckers.
We need one alive.
Oh, there'll be one alive for sure. But after what I've seen them done, and Araset can back me up on this, I don't have a lot of patience with their kind. So if your friend's in danger, then that just might be the extra fuel I need to go after him even more. So
That's
I'll
good
leave
with
it at that.
That's good with me. But like Keon says, we need one alive, and information is always important.
Well, getting information is my speciality.
Perfect.
Listen, there are only 6 of us. There are thousands, maybe hundreds, 50. I don't know how many of them.
Well, we've seen at least a couple of hundred of them up at Lukenor, so
Yeah, so the chances of
Hortzak.
one at least escaping our clutches is high. Let's just hope that we can galvanize and be more than we are in number together. And Rika,
What?
talk to the trees. See what they tell us.
you do it on the
Please.
way.
I've been saying I would do it.
I hear
think
you.
it best
Hortzak,
to,
can you
yeah.
get us out of here?
Yeah, let's. I'd say.
Keon, you all strapped up there, man.
Yeah.
Looks very painful.
Once we get one, make sure bind his mouth. Don't let him encunt, even when his hands are tied.
So, hey, Judd, just DM question while we're sitting here. I'm going to roll some hit dice for. Can I get a short rest?
Yeah, I say you guys have been here for an hour, so anybody who wants can
Okay.
I need to. I need
click
to
a short
patch
rest.
up a little. Patch up a little, yeah.
Definitely.
Rika's excited about a short
1d10.
rest.
I 1d10.
And as you're doing that, you can see.
For a short rest? There's a thing to roll stuff.
Only if you're damaged. If you're losing. any
Okay,
hit
so I
points.
just.
Yeah, just click it. It's fine.
Okay.
But Horsak is going around the place, grabbing a few things. You can restocking his pouch. You see him grab some more provisions, some more dried meats. He grabs a scroll, looks at you for a moment, Faruka. I might need this to do some bartering at your town, so I'm going to take this with me.
You know that's always appreciated.
I do indeed. I made a bit of coin selling you. Well, not you directly, but your townsfolk. It's going to be dark pretty soon. We can either wait a few more minutes and go, or I got another idea. Well, no, we got this one. Probably doesn't want to get wet.
Well, we can always clean him again.
Don't worry about me.
All right, come back here. And he takes you to the back. You go through a doorway into the back of the house you hadn't seen before. It's a large bedroom. There's a large bed, kind of analog, on the ground. Looks almost kind of more like a nest, but it does have this like curved wood headboard, and these really like nice linens laid down over this definitely nest-shaped kind of sleeping area for him. And there are a whole bunch of other weapons on the walls in here. Several other kegs of ale and some pipe weed. He grabs another pouch and he goes over and he pulls back a rug and he pulls up basically a little escape hatch. And you can see there's probably about 6 feet off the water here. I'm gonna go first, and then I'll help anybody in who needs. We're gonna try to be quiet. We're gonna go down. I got another boat stashed. And he just drops very silently for such a large croc, and the water just kind of splashes up around him. And then he surfaces again, and he reaches up a hand. Who's going next?
I'll jump right in. But before I go, again, Keon, if you don't kill me, I won't try and kill you. I don't know you, so I'll just leave it at that. And then he jumps in.
Okay, and he grabs you and just helps you kind of softly enter the water. And then he reappears, looks up, ready for the next one.
All right. I'm going.
Okay, he treads water a little firmer, and then just like, and he manages to slow you a bit, because you can feel like as you enter the water,
Water
you
still
feel
splashes up.
Yeah, it just like it makes this perfect like spout of water.
Graceful.
And Faruka, help make sure he doesn't go under. His armor's heavy.
Hey, all right. I cast shape water to freeze a little bit to give him a handhold to just jump up on.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's wicked.
Okay.
Love it.
It's cool.
You good?
Thanks. I'm good.
No worries.
And he looks.
I have a question, Judd.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think I missed. We're going into the water to go into a boat?
Yeah, so he took you kind of into his bedroom and he opened up an escape hatch, and he's like, you're dropping down into the swamp water, kind of hidden from view.
Oh, and then, okay, cool. In that case, I turn into a duck.
Oh, all right. That's so cool. So you all, and Hortak has his hands up, and Rika comes to the edge and jumps down. And as she does, her arms kind of, and they morph behind her into wings, and splashes.
But I can't fly, so I can only swim.
And he was like, well,
Just feathers.
that's it.
Are you a
My wings-
giant? Are you giant, or
No,
are you like
I'm duck sized.
Okay.
But it's like with like clipped wings, because my spell doesn't allow flight. So only, only
you just kind
swimming.
of like chicken it down onto the water. And
Yeah.
what does this duck look like? A normal duck, or do you put any special color?
Flaming duck?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I have a fire bell.
Oh, love it.
Oh yeah.
It does not go out when I dip in the water. It just stays like.
Just hot
Stuff of nightmares.
Like the bubbles come out when I dip in.
hot rod flames just shooting out.
Yeah.
Oh, she is, full of surprises. All right, come on. Who's next? Seville or Aracet?
Ladies
Well, after
first.
you. After you,
you.
of course.
I'm glad to see you know your place, and I scoot right on under the duck. Like over the duck. Right after the duck. After the duck.
Hortzak
The
leads
duck.
you very, very, gently down, beautifully graceful as a standard elf. And
All right, Seville, close the door as you drop.
So, yeah, close the door. And just in my head, I just hear, he'll do whatever I say, know your place. What did that goddess tell her? And I just kind of close it and just drop down.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So you're all in the water now, and Hortzak is.
Everybody, follow me.
And he swims out, excuse me, under that big log that's right next to the house, as I show, and very quickly is beelining it for this grove of these kind of like mangrove trees that are very close to the house. And within a few seconds, you are kind of going through the roots of these elevated trees, and they're gnarled roots going down into the water. You see them covered with an algae on the side, but a darker, not that beautiful green, but like a darker, deep dark green. And he swims about another like 5 minutes under this nice, this is obviously a predetermined route here. And there's, you come to this, looks like a floating, like maybe a log. It's covered in all these like branches and stuff, and he starts pulling them off, and he reveals a boat that he's got stashed here, and he grabs this big snake and just throws it out and starts to curl around his hand as he throws it.
Those are poisonous, so don't do that unless you know what you're doing.
It looks good, get in. And he just one by one helps you guys into the boat, and
Help me with this.
I'll help Keon. We just give him a. Oh my God!
it's like
I got him on the other side.
super awkward, like pushing his butt, and
Also waterlogged.
yeah, so all this water's draining out of him. It's just like,
All right,
I go into Ariset's mind for 1 second, and I just said, "Hey, you remember when you met me and you thought I was the serious one? Man, Keon takes the cake."
Yeah.
And
Do
I
they
just
always make him wear that armor?
and Anisette, you say that out loud.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I waddle up on top of Kian,
Just right over him.
plop myself on his chest.
Kian's 3-year-old trauma when he got chased by a duck tree. This flaming bill's like tickling his nose.
Oh my gosh, there's got to be a meme with this duck smiling with just flames crusting out. It's amazing. Oh my gosh.
Ducks can be scary. Well, I mean, geese can definitely be scary. Ducks.
I mean, have you ever seen a duck penis?
No.
I was wondering when
Oh,
someone
yeah.
was going to bring it up.
Yeah.
Don't do that, guys.
Say, look, I will absolutely now. I mean, now there's no doubt that I
Don't do it.
will.
Wow.
Viewers, don't
You
do
were
it.
warned. You were warned.
Don't go down that rabbit hole. Or duck.
I'm a
That's
girl
the worst
duck,
rabbit
though.
hole.
Never
You're a
mind.
girl duck? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
you know,
gosh.
I really appreciate the information because I like to examine animal genitals. That's
Oh, yeah.
something that's definitely true about
Wow. I hope it's not. Okay. All right. So as
Oh my God.
as you all get in this boat, and it's clear after a few moments that
Our safe word is duck penis. Okay.
yeah.
Duck penis. All right, got it.
That's a safe word.
Is that
If we need to get out of
episode?
anything, duck
If we-
penis.
Exactly. If we're in a
Duck dick.
fight, and we can't
like-
handle it, code name duck penis. Run.
Duck dick.
Producer telling me to end the episode.
Okay, bring it back.
Okay. So you're all in this boat, and as you start to move away, and you can tell that you're moving through this channel that's like perfectly cut through these mangrove trees, and just like winding through. You can barely catch glimpses of Pelkey now through the dense foliage. This is obviously Hortzak's escape route, and Faruka. No need to roll perception here, as your bird looks over and sees emerging from a nearby building a dark-robed figure who is moving with purpose towards the area that to the house that you're all in. And you see the person pulls back a sleeve, and you see this really pale, like really gross arm. There are symbols that are carved into the flesh, and they start to glow red as their hand starts moving. You see just the bottom edge of the jaw is saying something, and then this ignition of this fire in the hand. It starts to swirl and spin. And just releases, and you all hear the scream, and you look back and you see this fireball hit Hortzak's house and just demolish it, and another fireball and another one, 3 fireballs just catching fire. This whole structure starts to groan and collapse, and Hortzak's like, well, shit.
I'm sorry, Hort, but they were in the town. I'm familiar. It saw them. Like, if we didn't leave through the way you said.
It's all right. We got out. It's just stuff.
Is your friend going to be okay? Your friend? Is he
Double
there?
back around. We should double back around.
No. He could take care of himself. He said he was going to go. Keep your voices down. Let's get out of here.
Before we leave, does Cause see, is the figure in black still there? Just watching it burn?
For a moment, watching it burn, and the sleeve pulls down, and you can see that it is a flaming inferno now, and it's just crack, and then the whole middle structure just collapses into the water, and the person turns, and you see this energy open up in front of this person, and he steps through and gone.
That's amazing.
And as you drift down the river, Hortzak's looking back.
All right, well, it looks like we're doing this.
All right.
It's the oil in the water, it's pushing.
Y'all did bring trouble, didn't you?
Trouble was here before we came.
And trouble's following us into the swamp once again. Y'all better pay attention this time.
Please. It's going to be dark. We better go soon. And be careful. I don't know if any of you can see in the dark, but don't trust your eyes in the dark. You don't really see what's there. The things that are in the water. Hortzak, how fast do you think we can get there to where your friend said?
Oh, where the necromancers are is going to take us days. I think we best head down to your town.
Okay.
How far is that? How long does that take?
About half a day travel.
Okay.
Do you think we'll need to camp?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I'm taking us to a place nobody around here would ever camp.
Why's that?
Well, it's supposed to be haunted by some terrible hag. I'm sure we'll be fine.
And as that,
You said that last time.
he gets a bit of a smirk on his face, and he pushes another big oar with a splash. You all kind of disappear into the darkness, and we're gonna leave it there tonight, everybody. Because I wanted to have a couple minutes with our new players, and before we do anything, I want to remind everybody about the giveaway because I messed it up at the beginning. So we have a big giveaway that I've doubled down on tonight. And just so you know, anybody who is a subscriber gets 2 entries to this. So if you're subbing to us here on Twitch, you get 2 entries into this, which is Pretty good. I'm not going to throw Ashley under the bus here. We're doing great. No, the code word is not going to be duck penises. The code word is goddess.
What?
I know.
Same diff. Same diff.
Lame.
Close. I know. We're going to keep it kind of clean.
I keep dropping these.
We're gonna keep it clean.
We're going to keep it clean now, just for what people have to type into our chat. Yes, I'm going to do that. So enter the word goddess
Whoops.
one time into the chat to be entered to win the following
All right.
package. And again, if you are a sub to us here, you get 2 entries. Best of luck to all of you. And I'm going to say on our
Yay,
return,
subscribers.
everybody is eligible. If you've won from us recently, you're still eligible. This is a reset, and we're super excited. So we're going to send you some role player merch, which, I can model the role players. Yeah, you got to get one of those. A mini from our sponsor, Thrill Studios. Woo! 2 D&D books, because I listed the wrong one before, and because I don't go back on my word. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and this will be the second one's a pre-order because it's not out yet. It doesn't come out till March, I believe. Candlekeep Mysteries. So if you want to roll some mystery one-shots or campaigns, that's your ticket right there.
Yeah,
That's the one.
So good.
And then yeah, something for the producer. I saw that, Ashley. We'll get something for the producer. So enter the word goddess one time into chat, be entered, and we'll do that drawing in a moment. So, our new people,
Yes.
Genevieve, Brent, Peter, welcome. We're
Thank you for having us.
so excited to have you here. Great first episode. Love your characters. And chat, just out there, one thing that we're hoping to do pretty soon is a new Q&A with our new people. So we'll keep you updated on that. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a mystery from the producer. Ashley was not asking for a present from me. I thought she was fucking with me. But no. So included in that prize package is something from Ashley. Now, if you know Ashley, you know she gives amazing presents. She is known for it throughout the land. So you want to win this gift package thing. So get in there.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, so we'll be doing Q&A soon, but I just want to take this moment and officially welcome you, and to everybody out there watching us tonight, thank you so much. We do have some really cool things that are about to drop. The one that I'm most excited about is our new Patreon reward. So if you want to support us, obviously subbing to us here on Twitch is a big part of that. Also supporting us through the Patreon, we have several tiers. One of them is a world building tier. And not only do you get a monthly world building call with yours truly to talk about building your own world out there, I'll answer any questions you have. You're also going to get access to World Anvil, which is going to be full of all this information that you're going to hear discussed on the show, including an episode breakdown of what happened in every episode, who these NPCs are that we were talking about, what are these cities, Carthen, Asley, Vorden. It's all going to be there. It's really exciting. So it is a huge undertaking to build all of this up, but we're hoping to have it in a week, maybe 2 weeks at most, but it's going to be there very soon. So look for that to drop. And then I open this up to our new people. If you want to say anything, feel free.
I think chat might want to ask some questions while we got them.
All right, if you guys want to throw any quick Q&A out there, let's do a little mini Q&A while we're waiting for everybody to enter their goddess in the chat to win all this wonderful loot.
I feel like I have to massage my brow. I've been frowning so hard.
I know, right?
Just me knocking the inside.
Wiki's really happy. He's a happy guy.
He is.
Yes.
And I thought I was tired from making a duck bill for like 2 minutes.
That's a good duck bill, though.
You were so good at it, by the way. I was like, that is such a good duck bill.
Wow, well done.
Azara's not so all alone now with when you drop duck penis. It was like,
Thank you.
thank you.
My
you know?
tribe.
Traumatizing
You're
image.
my tribe.
Yeah, I know.
Get ready, guys.
Bring it.
Oh, okay, here's our first question. Did any of the cast here watch the original Dungeons and Dragons cartoon?
Oh, I've seen it.
I grew up with it.
Yeah. And I am your dungeon master.
Yes, I grew up with it. I love it.
But they
It's so much
fought.
fun.
They fought Tiamat in the first episode.
I mean, just right off the bat.
Just like let's just go. Let's just go against this goddess.
Drop
Let's go fuck her up.
Yeah.
drop the Queen of Dragons right down.
No problem.
do it.
No problem.
Level 1, but bang. So yeah.
Yeah, Azar, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it is, I mean, you kind of have to look at the train wreck that was. I mean, I shouldn't call it a train wreck in case some people really like it. And there's certain nostalgia to it for sure. I saw it later, so I was like, wait, what? What is this? But
What is it?
I still have a soft spot for the old Transformers, so I have not
Okay,
gotten
it's
to
kind of
see
in
the
the-
old D&D, but I will
realm.
check that out. I will check
it's like
that
they're
out.
all at an amusement park, right? And it's like one of those, like, it's,
It's fantasy themed
Yeah.
roller coaster.
and they fall through a portal and they end up in an actual, like, they're going to a D&D ride and then they end up like in the real D&D world. And
Wow.
And they're like,
When did that come out? When was that?
oh, it's 80s, right? It's
Oh
gotta be
yeah,
80s.
Oh,
middle
wow.
80s.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. It's probably somewhere on Hulu.
Oh, I got say it
Ready?
for you, girl. I got it.
All right.
I'll show
All
you.
right.
All right. Wait, I see a question here. Did any of the new cast watch the show prior to this?
Oh,
Easy answer. Awkward.
Come on, put them on the spot. They're like, who the hell are these guys?
you know, mostly I'll answer for them. Mostly no, because they didn't want to get like meta information.
By design.
Yes.
But when we were first talking to them, just to make sure like we weren't crazy people. Although I'm sure that probably wouldn't like you know make you feel better about that. But yeah, but no,
Yeah,
they
that's
have
true.
they have
We got some
intentionally.
deep, serious
Yeah.
D&D players here.
All three of our players here, are taking this very seriously and
Yeah.
are doing their best to not metagame, especially when you
it's
come
hard.
in
It's
when
hard.
you come into a campaign.
I don't know how to metagame, so.
She does
go.
not. She's perfect. She's what we need.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you talk about your D&D experience? So, like, Genevieve, you have played D&D before you came to play with us. Had done a campaign before, but are still fairly new to it.
Yes, if that wasn't clear from what. Which dice?
You don't have to be like, we want people out there. If you have not played D&D out there and you're watching us, that's awesome. It is a great way to see how the mechanics work and what you can do with it, right? Well, obviously, we're heavy on the role play, but if you haven't played it yet, find a group, get online, and do it, because I'm hoping through people like Genevieve they show you, like, you don't have to have played for 20 years to like sit down and play this game.
Just ask questions. I'm just like,
Yeah.
can I do this? Is that
Yeah.
is that a thing? And
Yeah.
I
Do it
just
together.
yeah, it's been so fun. And you guys have been so welcoming and awesome. It's been amazing.
This is part of our mission, is to get more people to be able to play D&D. We really believe it's like the future, because it allows people to understand, first of all, each of us is not such a literal human only. There's so much else in the world. And when you start to play, you start to open up your mind. And so this is like, honestly, the more people play D&D, the better the world becomes.
Oh, yeah.
So
I always say it teaches empathy, and I think that alone, allowing you to really learn how to think as someone else will. Thank you for the raid. Oh, it's our friend Mad Bird Streams. Mad Bird, we're back.
Hi, y'all.
Hey, Mad Bird. It's good to see y'all. It's been a while. We've been gone. We've been gone for a month. It's been a long time.
Caw. I love it.
Terrible
Or
bird
should we
calls.
say,
Yeah, you will learn Ariset's terrible bird call signal to the rest of her party. It needs some work, but
it's brilliant. It's so good.
I mean, it's awesome.
So
I love it. I love it. Okay, well, I'll give you the 2-minute warning. Mad Birds, we're doing a big giveaway. So enter the word goddess into chat right now. If you are a subscriber to the channel, you get 2 entries. We're giving away 2 D&D books, some role players merch, something unknown and mysterious and wonderful from Ashley, our producer, And
Good gifts.
Oh, and a
Gives
mini
good
from
gifts.
Thrill Studios. So yeah, so do that. The word is goddess.
And you are allowed to subscribe in order to roll twice. Just right now, that's not a DQ. So you're welcome to do that if you would like to game the system. Right?
Yep. You get one entry if you're not a subscriber, but if you want to be a subscriber, subscribe now.
Up your chances.
Up the chances. And all right, anything else before we pull the winner?
Oh, that's really cool. Somebody just said that they GM for a special needs school and they know how D&D can help. That is so cool.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's
So amazing.
Wow.
Actually, whoever said that, send us a DM because we definitely, when we first started, we were giving dice away to schools, but schools aren't in session together. But send us a DM and we'll see if we can help send you some resources to make sure you can still do this and do this for other kids that, especially right now, so many kids are sitting at home, doing remote schooling and not having a connection with people. You'd have to put them on Zoom more, but it'd be worth it to play D&D and bring them into a magical world of their own imagination. It's such a magical thing. D&D is the best. Speaking of, we are going to have our D&D is Real shirt dropping on the merch store, I think, next week as well. So look out for that. Oh, thank you.
And for those who don't know, there's a wild sauce one already there.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Oh, great.
There's a wild sauce what?
There's a wild sauce t-shirt already
Sauce.
there.
This is wild sauce.
Wild sauce.
Wild sauce.
I'm excited.
I need to see this. I need to go and get myself a wild sauce t-shirt.
I showed you.
I did see it. Yeah, you're right. But I gotta.
It's Seville's face saying wild sauce.
That's right.
Or yelling it. I don't
Or
know.
yelling it.
Or screaming it in pain.
Whispering just slightly into your ear.
Oh, and make sure you guys have, if you haven't, spam those new emotes we got for our new players. If you haven't seen them, I don't get to see the chat, so I don't know if they've been going all night.
I want to see the new ones. Someone throw them out there. Yeah,
but
that'd be
we
good.
have one for our druid that is just druid love, cuddling the creature that you managed to save and bring back to life tonight. And we have,
look at that.
we got our paladin.
Wait, how do I
facepalm.
look at this?
See this?
Look at Twitch, look at chat, and hopefully our people.
I don't even know how to look at the
spamming
chat, you guys. I'm a mess.
Oh, I'll teach
them.
you.
Okay.
You go into
We'll
Twitch.
send them to you.
I'll
We'll send them
teach
to you. Don't worry
Look
about
at the
it.
I'll put it in
I love it.
I'm putting it in our chat.
Big ears.
And our
big laugh.
hobgoblin laughing it up.
The paladin.
I love it, y'all.
Gian,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, Ashley, pull the name. I think we've given
awesome.
everybody enough time. I want to give out some stuff.
Is it the rooster?
Oh, are you calling it
Rooster.
again? Peter likes to put a little guess on it.
Yeah. I think
Here comes the rooster.
I don't
I'm
see
waiting.
the merch. I don't see all the other merch at the merch store. Is it at the merch store?
that one's, I don't see that one there, but it's there.
Yeah, I don't see the wild sauce.
All right,
and
we
I don't see-
have. Oh, really? I'll check it. We have our winner. Paul Marchdan. Paul Marchdan. Congratulations, you're a winner.
Hey, Paul Marchdan.
Boom.
Win.
Ashley will reach out to you and make that happen. Congratulations. Giveaways are going to be a big part of what we're doing going forward. We're hoping to get more stuff from Skull Splitter. We're going to try to give stuff. I don't know if it'll be every episode. I think it would be awesome if we can make that happen. But again, your donations, everything, you're going to go to support Extra Life. We'll do bigger fundraisers coming up on that in the future. Once again, welcome our new players. We'll see you all next Friday for next episode of the Role Players. Until then, everybody, be safe, be good. We love you all, and we'll see you next week.
And how about that damn song? Come on now.
Oh, you're welcome.
this.
You're welcome.
So good.
Yeah, that moment. Okay, it's been a week, y'all. That moment where I'm like, oh, I didn't actually build the new in-stream screen, so we'll just do the old one. It's fine. Ashley's rolling her eyes
What's
at
that
me
with
right
that
now.
song?
But yeah, I know. I almost want to do that intro one more time. We'll do it next time. All right, love you guys. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.